All right. Well, Blitz said he would be fine to start without him. As for everybody else, I've not heard from Drakelstein lately, as a matter of fact, and also Summer, as far as I know, is still on like an absence and won't be joining us at least for this one. So we're going to get started with the current uh, assortment that we got here, and excuse me. I think we're actually going to make things a little interesting and not start with a recap and just get straight into the action, given the interesting circumstances we ended on last time. So, for the people who are currently aboard the Tekla, Ohio Jones came charging in and was saying, guys, hey guys, there's something. It's Cat. So, what do you guys do for specifically for Evelyn, Martin, and Miller? Because Miller, keep in mind, you're in a different room. Like you were escorting uh, Captain Van Zant across the hallway back to Cryo, and then Martin, Arthur, and Evelyn and Mac were in the med lab.
Yep. I guess the first thing that my character would do is that I'm gonna go to the door of the med lab, lean my head out and say, Harrison, shove that guy back in the freezer on the double. We have issues we need to deal with.
Oh, okay. Um, Miller was already planning to put this guy in the freezer.
Okay, so
Please remain
I
calm.
need to roll like a equivalent to like a chance cube sort of thing. Let's see.
And Miller will give a look to Amelia, like, make sure he doesn't do anything.
Uh, Hold on. Uh, so the NP, well, question. So Tom, in answer to your question, to the NPC, are you talking about Amelia
Uh,
or Heather or who? You would not have the one with the thing coming out of her chest. Does not have like a helmet cam that's synced to the party, so none of you would see what's going on with her currently, unless you go into the room.
We have who did we put in the room with her?
You left Heather in, but Heather, as far
Okay.
as I know, does not have a suit of armor.
Yeah, no,
So
because she's just like
yeah, she's not. She's a non-combatant.
medical
Yeah,
android.
she does not.
Genetic android.
Yep. So, um, but yeah. So focusing on Miller. So yeah, Van Zant. Like so, Van Zant is now a little bit on edge. Because he's hearing faint screaming, and Miller, you're starting to kind of rush him, and he's like, "What is going on?" Kind of deal.
I do not know, but you need to get into this cryopod.
Sure, he says, and you know, uh, Zavadska is saying, I will take care of him. You go. Um, and so,
Okay. Make sure
so,
make sure he gets in that pod.
he's already in the process of getting into the pod, and she's
Make sure
like,
he stays in that pod.
yeah, and she just sort of has like a deadpan, like seriously kind of look on his face, like, yeah, I don't think he's getting out of here anytime soon. Uh,
Uh,
so meanwhile, so you're now hold on a sec. So you're currently there as this is going on. So stay put for a sec.
Okay.
Um, Meanwhile, concurrently with that, um, the people in the med lab, Ohio Tobias came charging in with that news. So what? And I believe Evelyn, you shouted for Miller, right?
Yeah, like
Uh,
I moved to the door. Let me
yep.
move my token.
Okay.
Yep, there I was.
Yep. So with that said, quite literally, what do you guys do next?
Well, Bill will run across the hall,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and he'll he'll unsling his pulse rifle.
Okay. So Miller's pulling out his pulse rifle, and is everybody just still standing there, or anybody going to is anybody going to go in the room, or
I'm just waiting until everybody's done talking, and I have my smart gun, and I take point.
Okay.
I go into
Yep. Oh,
over here.
All right. So just as you enter the room, you see Kat's body like there's blood all over the fucking table, like the galley table, and like you see like her body falling over or like just sort of recoiling back, and you see a creature like sort of standing erect out of her chest. So now I believe there's a rule for either um, seeing a like it's you either get a stress or panic from encountering a new uh alien creature. So I need to double check what that is.
I think we get a stress. I think it was
I
the same
think
when
so
we
too, but I
encountered the
just want
space
to double check
locust.
that. Let's see.
It'd be
Uh,
nice if it's just a stress.
You encounter certain creatures or locations as determined by the scenario or GM. So yes, you would get a point of stress, but also a truly for panic. A truly horrifying event occurs as determined by a scenario or the GM. I would say a chest, like an alien person has somebody's chest counts, so everybody gets 1 point of stress and then panics.
God.
And I would say Horgust, if you're watching this over like helmet cams, you're seeing this as well, so the same would apply to you.
Okay.
So everybody gets 1 point of stress and then panics, and so far you guys are doing an outstanding job keeping it together.
Well, we
I don't
have
need. I just take the stress, right? I don't really panic, right? If I'm not
Um,
really there.
well, you're seeing the same things that everybody else is seeing, so like
Right, but I would take the stress, but I don't know if I need to panic. I'm really going to run away from the computer screen.
well, it's more like a disturbing, like a disturbed reaction kind of thing. Like that's my understanding of how, like, because like I said, the the criteria. I'll pull up the stress. Hold on, let's see, where is stress and panic? Show.
It don't matter. I'm never going to fail this with my thing. So at
Yeah.
this level,
Okay. So, but yeah, those are the stress and panic criteria. Um.
because I
So.
didn't have any stress from last week
Yep.
because I wasn't here.
Yep. There you go. Um.
You're just lounging about, Captain.
Yep. So you see this small, you know, like, bronze skinned creature like looking around. So we're going to roll initiative to see if it gets away. Um,
Oh no.
Oh, fun.
so because you guys might have a chance to pump it full of lead. I'm going to roll initiative for everybody who is currently uh in within these two adjacent rooms. And let's see.
Make sure you add me.
Oh, right. Um,
That was gonna be my action. Just
yeah.
yell at
Well, I would say, oh
Frick.
yeah, to add you,
Load
like,
up.
no, I would say this much, Tom. So you won't be able to like actually get into the melee, but you will be able to give commands.
Yeah, that's why I said make
Okay,
sure you add
right.
me
So
because
whereas,
that's usually what I do anyway.
yeah, no, I was
I
talking,
don't think I
yeah,
really fire my gun much.
large and in charge. Okay,
Never
so
seen Horgus fire again.
toggle combat state, and then draw initiative.
I'm kind of like a bard. I boost you guys.
Yeah, I was doing that last night in a Star Wars game where my character was and Marty knows this, that basically she didn't fire a shot. She was basically just giving commands so the entire party could take like free actions out of the regular turn order. It was great.
It's
About
honestly
3 of them.
sometimes really
Yeah.
fun playing that kind of character.
Oh
Just
yeah.
do this thing.
Yeah. Okay, so uh, begin combat. Does anybody want to switch with Arthur? Because he's not technically here, so.
Yeah, me.
Okay.
Or
Who's our,
Yeah,
who's our,
definitely.
yeah, whoever our best combat
Better.
guy goes first.
Okay,
That
so
was
Which one is which one is Nick?
Nick is one of the NPCs. One of
Yeah,
from the
he's
Tekla.
right here.
Yeah, he's the first mate of the ship.
yeah.
Will he switch?
Yeah, he will switch with somebody else.
All right, Hargis first, and then our combat guy second.
Okay, so Horgust, I will swap initiative with Arthur, and
Bless you.
Mac will switch
Thank you.
with Martin. Swap initiative with Martin. Okay, so And I just got to cycle the turn order back to the top. Okay, so Horgust, you're up.
Alrighty, I will command Martin to unload and kill that little ass alien. Command.
Ooh.
Are enough strong today, man.
Yeah, so you get so Martin gets a +4 to shoot it, and then are you for your second action, I'm assuming you're going to do a second command?
Yeah, I will who is next? Is
You
Amelia
would
not in the
technically
combat?
No, because like I said, like due to the reaction time of what's going on in the immediate situation, I'm just counting it as these two people, these two groups of people. Because odds are
I'm
that
gonna bring her in
okay,
because my second command to her is to get in the hallway. If it gets away, you got to take it out in the hallway.
okay,
'Cause
so
she's a heavy.
yep,
Isn't she a heavy?
yeah, she has a Flame and War for 3, so
So I will bring her in.
okay, fair enough. So let me just add her to the turn order. Um, and so that is
Okay.
okay. So next is Martin. So you have a +4 to your roll.
Is that to the base modifier?
Yes. However,
Okay.
and no. So two things to consider. So number one, don't forget your machine gunner, and you could also aim. So that would give you another +4 if you did both. And also you have
Okay.
weapon specialist, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's another +2.
Okay, so
Um,
that's 10.
and now, but the thing is that the face, or not the face, sorry, the chest burster, I would say technically counts as a small, like a small target, because basically they have modifiers for with range combat. Um, a small target is a -2.
Okay. So
So
8.
yeah, so you get a +8 overall.
I like your odds.
I hope this roll will cover your screen with dice.
Ooh! Holy crap.
Okay, are you going to push
Get the
that
record for
or
the
leave it
table.
as what it is?
Um, if I leave it as it is, will that kill it?
I can't give you that meta knowledge.
Um,
Like the attempt.
you know what? Screw it.
Oh shit!
Holy crap.
I don't think it's alive.
Yeah, so let's see. So you're putting that all on damage.
No. I'm just gonna chat with everybody around me. Yes, I am.
Okay, so let's see. So three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. Okay. I need to let's see. So first, no, I'm not going to do an armor roll for it because you absolutely shred it. But uh, so how much damage? So it took. Let me just double check that. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Oh dear. You may be getting a nice shower.
11. Yeah. Um. So everybody in this room, so Heather, Martin, and Evelyn, this thing like squeals and it completely explodes, and this snot-colored something or other basically sprays all over the room. So you guys need to do an armor roll, except for Heather, who's just going to take all the damage because she doesn't have any armor.
Armor roll.
Just base armor?
Yeah, just
Or
base armor. There's no armor piercing on this.
I soak 1 damage.
Yep. So
That's good.
you take now you do take 2 damage, and the thing is your armor rating on your body armor is actually permanently reduced by 1.
Oh, fun.
How do I make an armor one?
You would just click on your I think on your suit of armor, you could
Like in my inventory?
yeah, you should be able to, and if not, like
Okay. Yep. Oh, here. AP armor doubled.
there's
Okay, so
none of
just
that.
roll.
Just base armor,
No
yes.
base modifiers.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, so you
Okay.
also same situation. The acid is like eating away at your body armor. Like it takes 1 point of damage, but it permanently reduces the rating from 6 to 5. As the armor is, it's basically like Corporal Hicks's armor, where it's sort of like just
Yeah.
burning through
Get
it.
it off. Get
Yeah,
it off.
exactly. So, you guys, so I'll resolve the PCs first before going to Heather. So, you two take.
So
So what's up?
no, I just wanted to say. So I take two damage, and how do I account for the rating on my armor?
Manually, you'll have to manually adjust it.
You have
Um,
to go in the inventory
yeah,
and adjust it.
correct. You
Okay.
go to the
Okay.
pencil icon and then just
Excuse
change the
me?
armor rating from 6 to 5.
Oh, that is what I wanted to know.
Yeah. So, but acid is the gift that keeps on giving. So I need to double check what the rating is. So you guys initially take 2 points of damage if you already did. So let me see what the where
Oh.
are the xenomorphs? Xenomorph. There's that. Okay, let's see. Acid splash. Um, the acid. The acid burn continues to burn after the initial splash. A victim who suffers damage from the initial splash suffers another attack each round. So we're technically out of combat, but because that facehugger is history, man. Or not facehugger, excuse me, chestburster. Um, a the number of base. Okay, so another attack. The number of base dice rolled for the attack is halved. So you guys take another 1 point of damage. But now the acid has stopped burning.
Oh,
So you
joyous.
should all in all have taken 3 points of damage. And Heather, however, so she gets down to 0 HP because she had 3 health. And now I need to roll like an android crit for her. Oh my.
Dear. Oh.
Yeah. So she gets sprayed in the acid like she's not like permanently dead, but the acid like basically tore through her and severely damaged her.
It's like Bishop at the end of
Exactly. Yeah.
Alien.
It's just instead of getting torn in half by like the queen splitting him in half, he just like the acid in the case of Heather basically just burned through her and like tore through like critical components and like her limbs and stuff like that. So she's kind of in a number of pieces on the ground. And then
Well,
like
so was Ash.
yeah. Okay, so you
And Virga says this is why everybody should be wearing armor.
Wait,
Really?
Horgus says that?
Yes. Again,
Horgus, you're an asshole.
no, that's exactly no. Yes, I am an asshole. You don't go into an enemy's shit without armor and a weapon. I don't care if you're a pacifist or not. Wear armor. Jesus.
Listen, I may be an asshole, but I make a good point about it.
Yes.
You're right, but you're an asshole. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Can I get a contact wall? Since we could communicate with a contact, I just want to send a message to her say, next time wear armor.
Yeah, the Horace wakes her up. I told you so. So, yeah. So somebody can do a contact to try to revive Heather,
Yep, I could do that.
and you will also need to repair her eventually.
Yep. It's just like our repaired Harrison the last time we played. It's
Yep.
fine. It's just basic maintenance at this point. Okay, I've turned off everything that wouldn't apply.
Oh dear God.
Well, I got the success, but I roll a
Alright.
stress.
Right. Panic. Okay. Okay. Very good. So Heather, like her her eyes slowly open, and she's like has sort of like more like stop motion style, like jittery movements, and is sort of looking around uh, at Evelyn. Like
Here's
she
my
just,
body.
yeah, she looks around. She sees Evelyn. Hello, Evelyn. I seem to be in an unfortunate status.
Yeah, but don't worry about that. We can put you back together again, Heather. Yeah, don't worry. It's just regular
Boris is
maintenance.
really holding his tongue right now.
uh,
Eh,
I mean, you can see through my like helmet cam. If you could just make that comment to yourself at this point, man.
and Martin looks like up at a camera, hearing that, and he goes, "At least you've got a tongue."
Why you don't have a tongue?
No, I mean with the creature, and considering it's dead.
Oh,
I'm,
Is there anything left of what's her name's body after a smart gun just unloaded into that thing,
no,
um,
or is it just a pile of
it,
yeah,
xenomorph and or
pretty
it's
much.
chest
mush.
burster and
Yeah,
human?
10 millimeter explosive tip bullets tend to do that.
Yeah.
Between the acid splash and the smart gun bullets, yeah, like Cat and the chest burster are just a pile of gore. So
I don't know. I don't know what the hell that thing was, but uh, looks
And
like
with a
we need
look
to
of
take a.
murder on his face, Martin just all of a sudden remembers. There was something. There was another one of these.
Yep. And
Nathan
you
runs
know
back
what?
to check the cryo room.
I'm gonna
We
go
had three
out
of
on a
these.
limb. Yeah, I'm gonna. The other one probably has one as well. Hmm, this. This is horrible. We're wearing freaking. Uh, I was going to say orange Jello, but that's not right. We're wearing freaking green Jello, and oh man,
well, the green jello has already like dissolved away on your body armor and on your skin, so
yeah. But bad acid burns right now. This is not the best thing. Yeah, we're gonna have more issues if the two in the cryopods or wake up and stuff.
what
So
is
So
the status of the other guy getting in? Is he in yet?
yes. Zavodska would mention that Captain Van Zant has been uh, safely put into cryo.
okay.
And I would say by this point she would have gotten like here. Do after the like when the combat started, she was there, and she's probably like, coming back into the room.
Okay. Mm, Can we now go over a recap? Were there two or three that were reported to have something?
You know for a fact that Kat, who was the woman who just died, and Captain Van Zant both had these creatures inside of them. In terms of people that Max said were fine, there was himself, and then the two icons that you see in cryo of Paz the pilot and Glenn Richards the navigator.
Okay.
So he said
And
that
Um.
there's
like basically just to recap from what Max said, he said that when Kat Van Zant and then their security officer Pine, who you have not currently woken from cryosleep, those three went into the facility that the ship is parked outside. They were gone for a while, and then Mac led a search party and then found the three of
Right.
them with the facehuggers.
Okay. Um.
the security officer still has
Okay.
a facehugger on them.
So I look back and I go, this is going to. We've got two more of these things. This is going to happen twice more. Um.
mhm.
Unless we get out of them normally, whatever the hell that was.
And you're saying that to Mac?
No, I'm just saying that in general to everybody over the comm.
Okay.
Unless we take them outside and I take care of them.
And are we in space or are we in
On the surface of the
No,
No,
planet.
planet.
no, we've landed on the planet.
Okay.
You're currently on Furina 161, also known as Fury 161, which was the setting of Alien 3. There was a penal colony there that shut down, and these people, this crew, they were the latest batch of suckers that went there based on rumors from a book called Space Beast.
Is there a room on this ship that we can seal?
That like you can like quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, theoretically, plenty of them. I mean, there is the cryo deck here that if you don't like, if you want to keep people preserved and like not a threat at all, just throw them in there.
But we
That's
don't
not
know if
really.
the alien gets chronoed either.
We
No,
theorize
we're
it
about
does
to
'cause
find out.
they've been in there for months now, right?
Yes, they've been
Oh, for months. Okay.
been preserved for quite a while because I think it took you guys like 90 days to get there,
Yeah.
something like that. It took you
Okay.
quite a while,
We
and
thought
they
we
were
had
in
to
It
they
took
wait.
were
a
in the
while.
they were in the freezers for a very long time, and it was only like about maybe 30 to 60 minutes after you brought Cat out of the cryo that this happened. So
We're pretty certain that it's safe to believe that everyone that we can see, so these two in here and who are still in cryo, and the first mate here are all clean, while the other two, the captain, definitely we know because we
yeah,
scanned, and the other one still has a face hugger on their face.
yeah,
We
he
haven't
still has a
awoken
face
them.
hugger on him.
Oh crap.
We could always, you know, thoughts from me, the player, versus thoughts that Miller would never have. Oh
Is
gosh.
What's on
is
the
this
other
a
side of this door? Oops, I didn't mean to open it.
Well, it's okay. You can open it because you would know that Arthur. Which speaking of, hey Blitz, I know you're here. We were just still kind of
Yep.
resolving this. Uh, so Arthur was scouting around the ship, just like trying to secure it, and he basically was looking around and saw that like okay, that like north of Cryo is an access corridor, um, and so on. So, um, oops, I didn't mean to lock that. So yeah, he was just scouting around the whole ship. There are no signs of any other aliens on the ship.
Okay.
So it was just currently, in terms of the current count, it's 3 people. One of them is now dead.
Yeah, man, you missed the firefight.
Yeah, that does beg the
I-
question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Arthur.
No. Sorry, continue.
Okay. So Horgus, are you going to still stay aboard the red carpet, or are you going to come aboard the ship?
No, I'm gonna come aboard.
Okay. And I will also note to you guys that you did the ships, both yours and the Tekla, are parked outside of the refinery, or the prison complex. Just in case, like, if you want to investigate in there or whatever, or if you just don't want to stay aboard the ship. Because remember, your current objective, the reason you were summoned here was because Mac was telling you that, um, that there were 3 people with face huggers, and one of them was Kat, the engineer, and she's now dead. So they need somebody to fix their engines and FTL drive so they can actually leave the planet.
You want to leave this? Right.
Like
So
he initially said like if somebody can also give Kat medical attention so she can fix it, but number one, the ship does not have the facilities to do so, and number two, their engineer is dead.
Well, that problem is solved.
Hmm. Not in the way we hoped, but it's solved.
Eh.
So do we have a portable camera or something?
Like a handheld camera?
Yeah.
I mean, it stands to reason.
So I'm gonna set up a camera so we can monitor the the cryo room,
Okay.
and then I want to post one guard at the door. So if something happens, we've got somebody to take care of it.
Okay. So,
Don't
chef.
we have a sentry gun?
Well, you have a sentry gun, but you have no ammo for it.
Yeah.
Got no
Okay.
got no juice.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Horgus, we got a very nice sentry gun, and you have a remote helmet for operating it.
Yep.
We
Oh,
just
that's
don't have
cool.
any
You
ammunition.
have, I think I added it to your sheet. You would have a, apparently I didn't add it. Let me see. Where is the, head mounted, oops. Head
You're gonna
mounts.
put it in the ship, right?
Oh, I put it on your sheet.
I'll just
Oh, hold on. There are two things in it. I already put it in. I just needed to delete one of them. So.
okay.
So yeah, head mounted sight. Basically what that lets you do is manually choose targets for the sentry gun to shoot at.
Oh, okay.
Um, though again, you don't have any ammo for it. It is not currently set up. But in terms of setting a sentry in the cryo deck, uh, I mean, who would you want to post there? I'm assuming an NPC, so it boils down, do you want
Yeah,
Zavatska or...
probably Amelia.
Okay, Amelia will
She's a
go.
good fighter, right?
Yep, very good fighter. She's got, like, let's see, 6 base and range combat, and she also has a flamethrower that gives her, I think, +1.
Okay.
So,
And then whoever our techs are, let's get this thing back in working order so we can get the hell out of here.
Hmm. Yep.
Can we all meet up in the med bay and just discuss what happened?
you can.
Well, we could do it over comms because they're not on our comms,
I mean, well, yeah,
I'm
Mac
stood
is
right?
not,
next
but
to.
like basically all of you are roughly adjacent to each other.
We need to figure out. The ship needs repairs, but we need to figure out what to do about the two other people with that in them.
Yep.
Offer stuff
I'm not
down.
the. I like that idea. Like, oddly enough, I'm not usually the stake them up and let them die type, but we can't risk letting any more of those things go anywhere except here.
It's a serious. Uh,
You can tell that, like, so I'll say that Evelyn, so you can tell that Mac has kind of a disapproving demeanor to your nonchalant proposal of killing his friends.
I didn't propose to kill them.
Evelyn, I was the one who made that suggestion.
Oh. Oh, well, you as a player or you as a character?
The
Okay,
characters,
well, yeah,
like
okay,
I'm
right,
not usually the one to sit and kill
right.
people, but
So that, well, yeah, he's saying like, and I mean, and like, and just keeping them in cryo and maybe getting them to like a Pauling med pod and getting like them proper surgery isn't an option.
I mean I'm not exactly the medic here, but I mean I suppose it could work, but then between transporting them like to the pod and like to the amount of cryo sleep transporting to the pod, it, damn it, sorry, I was stuttering. There's the real danger that whatever is inside of them could come out before you bring them to the pod, depending on where you're bringing them. Because I imagine you have to go to like a big like whatchamacallit to properly use one of those. Those.
Yeah.
All right,
Well-
so I got an added character question.
Shoot.
Is there like the internet?
Yeah.
Can we go and do some research on aliens that have these head face things and have these things blowing out of bodies? Has this ever been located, and
That
what can we
that is
find on that?
something that Weyland-Yutani would, go over like leaps and bounds to ensure is not public knowledge.
And we don't need to.
Yeah.
We read their book.
Yeah, because there was. I'll say this because you
Yeah.
missed this last time. The closest thing to common knowledge about xenomorphs is there was a book written by the sole survivor of the incident on this planet. The guy who survived Alien 3. After the incident, he wrote a book called Space Beast. The book was banned instantly, again by Weyland-Yutani, but like pirate, deep, like darknet or whatever copies are still present. And last session, you guys managed to find one. So that is the closest thing to common knowledge about aliens that you guys have, or at least about these specific aliens. Now, he didn't mention. Actually, no, he did mention the chest burster because Ripley, when she committed suicide, she died as the queen was bursting out of her chest, and he was a witness to that. So, like as I was saying, the only like stage of the life cycle, the only two stages of the life cycle that he didn't cover in his book are eggs and facehuggers.
And while we had them in X-ray or something like that, we saw the chest burst. We saw the
Correct.
chest burster, and we made the quick connection. You know, as a guy that used to live right here, wrote Space Beast. There's this thing in this person's chest that that sure looks a hell like a lot like what the guy described. Yeah. So, ultimately Martin is gonna go, holy shit, that shit is real. And yes, that's from a movie, but for the life of me, I can't remember.
Well, you
which
gotta have a quote or like paraphrase. There was a player who was playing like a character I described as a mix between Shaggy and Hudson. Who's like, Corvo, we got actual monsters in here, man, actual monsters. In a campaign session I played at one point, he was just, no, that was great.
Oh,
Yeah, but
bad, man. It's so bad.
So we
but
know
that's
if the
not
body is going to die,
Mhm.
it'll come out
Yeah.
to save itself.
And you
Whatever.
guys, not only that, you guys saw that. Like, well, you didn't actually directly. Well, actually, well, I mean, hell, even in the session, like, you didn't see it like the whole process of it bursting out of her chest. But by the time you entered the room, you see this like alien creature sticking out of a dead woman's chest.
It's 1 + 1 = 2. We on the monitor we saw something in her chest. I walk in, there's a thing sticking out of her chest.
Correct.
Okay, so to get from 1 to 2 is not that difficult.
It's not a big leap in logic to figure out that, oh, it works like this. Shit.
Right. So and I look at Evelyn and I go, like, and I go, I guess we can write our own Space Beast now.
Oh,
Space
most
Beast 2
definitely. The
Very short
international
book.
bestseller.
that gets banned
It,
on
pop-
release.
it popped out of the
Mhm.
chest. We shot it with 12 rounds from a smart gun.
12. That was probably more than that, but
Probably more than that. Some probably missed, but we hit it with 12 rounds from a smart gun.
well, he got 10 successes and just absolutely, yeah, destroyed it.
Ripped it to shreds.
Yep. Which,
Mhm.
speaking of, I should have rolled the crit for it, but I was like, yeah, that much damage, you would have probably critted it like a lot, given how low its
There's,
health was.
there's not much of a sample left of the thing.
Yeah,
It's
there
just
was absolutely zero of a sample. Like, it just was completely shredded.
And that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so
If there's an incinerator on the ship, then I suggest we toss whatever's left in there and call it a day.
we have a portable incinerator. Go ahead.
Oh boy.
The flamethrower.
Nope.
Do we have
Yeah,
a fire
well,
extinguisher?
well, don't set the room on fire.
We don't wanna
Right,
burn
we
it.
can
don't wanna
take the
get
body
fire.
outside, right?
Yeah.
And
Off the ship and do it outside.
Well, I would say the problem with the body is that, like I said, it's basically like a puddle of like blood and like pulped up organs and bone fragments. Like when Martin was shooting the facehugger or the chest, I keep calling it a facehugger. When he was shooting the chest burster, um, the like the bullets were over penetrating the chest burster and hitting the body. So
Miller,
Okay,
what's
we
your...
so
get a
that one.
garbage bag.
yeah,
Do you
exactly.
have a shovel?
We all have shovels, or
Oh,
basically
right,
all.
do you... Well, but those aren't
That's
trenching. Like, do you
true.
have like a
We
snow
just all
shovel?
like we all just like pull out the tactical shovel. Like, yeah, we've got shovels.
No, but
You need
I
shovels? We got shovels.
mean like a snow shovel for, digging your ship out of the snow.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure our tact shovels work
Yeah,
the same way, man.
pretty much.
I always assumed they were like smaller entrenching shovels.
Well, I mean they are, but they still work the same way.
Okay, ultimately. So, we gather up the gore and we take it outside, and we burn the fuck out of it.
Yep.
Just hose it down.
Just Viking funeral that bitch.
Yep.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry.
That's
I'm
a
tired.
way of saying it.
No. It's just your reaction to my sarcasm always. I, I I keep trying to find ways to make it worse, just to get you to laugh more.
So, anyway, so yeah, you absolutely immolate, what little is left of Cat and the chest burster. So yeah, what,
as and,
so
and as the flamethrower is popping out and we're standing there, looking. Yep, mine goes. Anybody want to say anything?
I'll look to the first
Smells
mate.
like chicken.
yeah, the first, Mac, like he takes off his hat and he just kind of like, like sort of like the whole respect for the dead thing. He looks pretty, like bummed out, distressed watching what little is left of a friend of his be absolutely like scorched. Um, but
And
he doesn't say anything. So
as it's done, Martin turns around and looks him in the face, like leaning over and goes, "You got two more of these," and then walks off.
he just like he slowly looks over at you again with a very sort of um, you know, just like disturbed look. Because he knows like, well, this is what happened to Cat, so I basically have to like he's like, he just isn't happy about it.
Nope,
So Horgus goes up to him. So Mac, you see the situation here. What do you want to do? I don't know if it's the best bet to take something like this off this planet. And just in case it does get out wherever we take it, I don't think that's a good idea. What do you think? These are your people, so it's your choice.
Yeah, he pauses to think, and like he's just, finally he says, as as mu- as much as I hate to say it, I think you and your crew are right that it's not an easy decision, but we're gonna have to probably um, dispose of Van Zant and Pine if we can't save them. But I would much rather we do it humanely instead of like he just gestures to the burning pile of like pulped up remains. Um, he's saying like I'd much rather if we have to kill them than just like a quick shot to the back of the head so they don't see it coming, rather than just like lighting them up with a smart gun or burning them with a flamethrower.
We
I
could
tell
possibly...
him that the problem with that is the creature inside it's its own being.
I know.
So if we kill its host, it will burst out at that point.
Well, I
We
mean,
don't know that.
I'm saying
Well, we
just
do. The book says it.
yeah. Well, the book, um,
No, the book doesn't.
Yeah, the book
never
actually
says
doesn't.
that.
The book, I'll say this because you weren't here. So what it says about the chest burster is what he describes is that the woman who came from LV-426, Ellen Ripley, um, basically the what he saw of the chest burster was as she was killing herself by like, you know, like diving into like a giant cauldron of molten lead. That is when the chest burster came out. He doesn't know why, um, like what triggered it at that point in time, but that is all he saw of it.
Oh, I read it as it sensed that she was killing himself and came out. That's what I read from it.
That was my personal theory when I saw Alien 3, but I feel like it'd be hard to tell that that was the case because it was very close to coming out anyways.
Yeah, like
Like
in a
it was.
like the point is whatever happened in the movie, like in universe, what your characters know based on what you read of Morse's book, um, the situation like there is no, you know, clear cut explanation for why the chest burster came out at that point in time. Like that is a valid theory, but there's no way to prove it.
Just a theory.
And like and what you guys have seen of a chest burster, um, Kat was not threatened. She was just chilling in the galley, and then it came out.
Right.
Much like the first movie, how he was just eating like
Exactly.
like dinner, then just like
Yeah,
start
and
convulsing.
then in Aliens, when the woman who was like, you know, the Marines weren't threatening her at all. They were actually trying to help her, and that's when it came out. So there's no
Hmm.
just within the movies, like even
Okay.
before getting into character
Sorry,
knowledge.
I read it as we knew that when they go to commit suicide. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's alright. I'm just saying that like,
I just wouldn't do it in the ship. It
okay,
has to be outside the ship.
Well,
We
okay,
can do it. We
yeah.
bring them outside and we can.
Yep. Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
So
I don't need that acid
Yeah.
shit on me again.
so yeah, Mac basically he agrees to the plan of killing them under the stipulation that you kill them with a shot to the back of the head first, and then you can do whatever
well,
you want to the bodies and the chest bursters.
before possibly waking, we could either. we-
Yes. Hello.
Are you suggesting? Oh,
Yeah, because he completely cut
I
out.
they've lost him.
I
Oh no.
didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry. We could theoretically either A, sabotage their cryopods so they would never wake up and take out their bodies and burn them, or sedate them before they wake up, and then again they would be unconscious, or at least, and move them out while they're unconscious. I don't agree with any of these ideas exactly, but I understand the risk of leaving them in there and bringing them to, say, a station.
Yeah. Well, again, Mac is like, you know, the only way you'll have him on your side is that if you kill them humanely. Um, things like sabotaging their cryopods so they suffocate, or like lighting them up while they're watching or whatever, is a no-fly zone.
Well, I
Right.
mean,
We can keep them unconscious, can't we?
yeah, when they like when Newt drowned in her cryopod, it said she like didn't like she was still asleep, is what's his name said. Like, we could
I
theoretically
believe
make it so
so, yeah.
they just die in their sleep. They sort of like so they wouldn't wake up and
Yeah, I don't remember the
but
specifics of Newt, given that she literally died off camera.
yeah.
So they just gave that like hand wave explanation, and that's it. So
I think between like the ship crashing and then like things got jostled around and it probably like punctured the pod and then she drowned that way.
yeah, but
I
I'm saying if
imagine.
it punctured the pod, it would theoretically have disrupted the cryo effect. That's just my take on it, but um,
Oh, that's true.
so
Eh.
that's why it just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, um, yeah, you could like theoretically well, you do have a couple of options. Like, I mean, if memory serves, Evelyn did get those tranquilizer darts. I don't know how many you have. Um,
Oh,
like
I did. Actually,
you
I
could,
I have like 5 of them, I think.
yeah, you could theoretically uh, use like a use those as like an anesthetic. I mean, again, it's kind of stretching things a little bit, but it would still, I mean, in terms of like using like alien grade tranquilizers on human beings. But I mean, in a medicine, that's what those poachers were planning to do to you. So, um,
Right. So here's a question, Cody. Um, using using animal level tranquilizer on humans would kill them, right? Because it would just be too much.
true.
Is there any like
I mean,
tranquilization medicine here in the med bay?
I mean, they weren't going after mink-sized creatures. They were going after elephant plus.
Pretty much. Well,
Yeah,
actually, I mean, technically, you don't really know what they were going after because you blew up, or the ship blew up before you got to the
right.
cargo hold.
Yeah, they committed suicide.
Pretty much, or so you think. But anyway,
I
uh,
checked
yes.
my ammunition. I have exactly 2 tranq darts, so it's almost a
Well,
given that
what you could
if we
do
want to
is
use.
theoretically maybe somebody could make um, like to basically kind of balance it out. Like you could try to do like a maybe I'm thinking a medical aid to dial back the dosage of it, like kind of remove some of the tranquilizer or do that sort of thing. If you guys think that's a reasonable course of action to take.
No, I want to OD him with it.
Oh, you want to actually use it to just like tranquilize them and outright kill them with it.
That would
Yeah,
probably actually not be that terrible
I
of a
mean, yeah,
way
if
to.
and
you want to do that, and it like because it basically would put them to sleep and they wouldn't
take
wake up.
the alien with it.
We don't know that yet.
We don't know that for
Yeah.
certain, but we'll still burn the
We
corpses
can
outside.
we can guess that, but we don't know it for
Well,
sure.
I'm hoping that. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it would. I'm saying my character would say like and hope that you know.
Yeah. Now, I will say that if you're trying to basically euthanize human beings,
Yes.
you still do. There are rules for that. Very similar to Twilight 2000. There is a like you have to fail an empathy roll if you're trying to kill an innocent person. So just
Yep.
keep that in mind. No matter what you're trying to do.
Okay.
And
So
doing
who
so
who
also,
who
I believe, gives you a point of stress.
yeah. So who exactly wants to be the, you know, person who does it?
Somebody with a really low empathy.
Uh,
You can fail.
God.
Arthur, you have low empathy as well, right? Or
Well,
not?
this is where I'm like, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, considering his wit score, he might not know what that word means. Uh,
Jesus Christ, man.
So,
My character has an empathy score of 3, just so we have that like the
of the
knowledge.
NPCs, I'll also add that Zavadska has an empathy of 2, and Ohio Tobias is an empathy of 3.
Hey, you don't want me with my empathy of
God,
5 doing it.
we're bad people.
I have an empathy of 2, but I'm an android, so
Well,
Yeah,
you wouldn't
we're
do it
about
We're
anyway.
not
even.
You can't do it.
yeah, I can't do. It's
we're
like
not
on
the
one
worst
hand,
people. There are worse people in the world or in the
Simmons.
universe. Exactly. Oh, I can't wait until we encounter him and his crazy ass sniper antics and galaxy far, far away from Terra.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm dreading that encounter.
Anyway,
Sorry
uh,
if my
so,
voice. Sorry if my voice just cracked there.
uh, anyway,
It
so
sounds like it's stressing you out.
have you encountered Simmons before?
Balloon.
Anyway,
I don't.
uh,
Think...
so anyway,
I'll
moving
save
along.
that for
Yeah.
afterwards.
So, okay. So let's see. So who is going to be waking up? Pine and Van Zant.
We're not
And
waking them up. We're just putting them. We're just giving them meds and
right,
having
but
them
the
go to sleep while they're asleep.
the tranquilizer darts, you have to inject them with it. It's not like you
We
fill
can
the pods with
open the
them.
pod and immediately inject them before they can
Right,
even.
exactly.
Close it again.
Well, we should do it one at a time, right? We shouldn't wake up both at the
Yeah.
same. We'll do like
You
Yeah.
think?
inject them first, prank
Um,
them.
because I have the weapon, I can go ahead and wake them up and like do it.
Okay.
I just smacked myself in the face.
Okay, that should definitely go into shit the
No,
players say, but
I
And
I'm
I'll
I'm trying
stand
to take
by.
notes, and I had a pen in my hand when I was moving my hands, and I accidentally smacked myself in the side of the head. So
and
I'm not graceful, people.
I'll
and it
stand
went
by.
Amelia in there with the flamer.
okay.
Oh,
Oh God.
yeah, probably a good, better idea than me.
Yeah, here I'll cover right in front of you, like 2 feet in front of you with the big fucking flamethrower. If something happens, just
Oh, that's the mother.
Okay.
you'll be
We don't
fine.
need to see mother.
Okay. Evelyn, do fail an empathy roll.
I believe in you.
No, don't roll
I
stress
don't
dice.
believe in
Just
you.
roll empathy.
Okay.
Ooh,
So the good news is, and which one are you waking up first?
Um, I'll wake up Pine or whatever
Okay,
their
the
name
security
is.
officer.
Yep.
So the pod
It's
opens,
a
and then you
human being.
basically just quickly just sort of jab him, and he still has a facehugger on his face, mind you. But so you let me just see what damage. I think there's what's the coup de grace rules. Coup de grace. Okay, so you get a 1 point of stress for doing that. But you
Hmm.
do inject him, and he, like basically, like he's starting to like move a little bit, but then he stops. So, he's dead, and kind of like the whatchamacallit, the other two, the face hugger, like, a couple of seconds later, it just like shrivels up and falls off his face and lands on the floor.
into a biohazard bag.
Um, okay, so he is officially dead. Um, and you remove one of your tranquilizer darts, and now
Yep.
you have a second guy to kill.
Should we
Yep.
torch
Let
him
me.
first before we kill the other one?
Yes.
I can carry his body
You could
out, so
see
that way.
Zavatska's face like light up with joy at the thought of being able to do that.
Okay.
So,
Do you want to be on cremation duty? Well, you are on cremation duty. You're the only one with the flamer unit.
well, I mean, no, Arthur has one.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I forget that our our womb-born soldier is also the firebug.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with in case two flamethrowers has to make
yeah,
it faster, right?
yep.
I,
She
I'm
basically
gonna get
offers you a
lit
fist bump
on.
as you're heading out.
I'm carrying it so you can shoot them if it bursts out. But if two flamethrows just light me, I'll be fine. I'm sure. I'm gonna
Did,
carry the
did,
body
Yeah,
to
I
the
did
already.
they do this in front of Mark?
And in front of Mac.
Mac, sorry.
back.
Um,
Watch the watch.
well, Mac, yeah, I would say I forgot to move his dog. I would say he's probably in the room
Okay. As
overseeing.
long as they don't do
Looking
that in
on,
front of him,
horrified.
because if he did, I would have to do something about that.
Yeah,
But
so
okay.
if they're saying that like out, in a different room, then you guys are fine. Um, but basically,
Have
he's
some
the
sense of
reason is he's
decorum.
supervising the process because he wants to make sure that you uphold your end of the agreement, that like you guys are going to do this like humanely and not just like incinerate them as they get out of their pods or something.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he's okay with us cremating the
Yeah,
bodies to
he's
be
fine with
safe.
you cremating the bodies because he understands the danger of not doing so. But he basically just doesn't want to watch his friends like scream in agony as they're being burned to a crisp. So, That's why he's supervising. He just wants to make sure that like the euthanization goes humanely rather than have like some sort of incident. So that is one person dealt with, and then as for what we call it, Van Zant. Okay, Evelyn. Well, if you're going to be doing the empathy roll, I need you to.
Real quick,
What's up?
how is your stun right now?
My stress is at
Your
3.
stress, sorry. What can she take to drop that?
So a couple things you can do to drop that. Number one, there is the banter talent, which, like, so if you guys are sitting in a secured environment, for every 10 minutes you spend in a secure environment, you normally, like, you restore 1 point of health and get 1 point of stress removed. However, with Evelyn having the banter talent, that's actually 2 stress per 10 minutes. That's one
Why don't we
option.
take 10 minutes and let Mark say his goodbyes to his captain? And then we take 10 minutes and get rid of our stun.
Yeah.
I mean, our stress.
Yep. Um, so,
Well,
all right. So you guys are doing that. Let me see about something.
so that Miller was bringing the body out immediately. Like we're not leaving this body in here and cremating both necessarily at the same time. I think the idea is to cremate it as fast as possible. So
Right,
Yeah.
you guys could do that. The ones
yeah,
that are still in here could go.
While you guys rest, we're gonna bring this corpse out and torch it. So Miller will carry the Miller will be the one carrying the body of
They're going on lunch break.
lunch break.
Jealously, like, man, we gotta do this, and they're going on lunch break.
And
Caller.
Zavotska's saying,
We're eating the corpse.
Zavotska's like, no, we
I-
have the fun job. She says to Arthur.
I mean, yeah, but we're not paid by the hour.
We may not get
Mama's
paid
that
at
inner
all.
pyromaniac.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that like Zavotska is just a pyromaniac to the extreme. Like she almost looks a little too eager to be doing this. But I
Humans
mean,
have always
No.
had a
she's pretty
fascination
much
with
in good
fire.
company with Arthur about that. I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, definitely a pyromaniac. Just a long time of setting shit on fire. It doesn't quite hit the same.
Um,
Casual
Man,
pyromaniac versus versus full
Versus
time
ranked
pyromaniac.
competitive.
Ranked
oh
competitive.
man, if Arthur and Savatka ever got together, they make nice little fireplug babies. I'm sure. Jesus Christ.
exactly.
For your 10th birthday, little Jimmy, we've got you this flamethrower.
10th, that's too late. I mean, like
Yeah, I was
Well,
about to.
I
no,
could see
that's
that.
when they get a full blown flamethrower. They get to use like aerosol
No,
and
it's like
lighter.
no, it's like I remember
He'll
my
get like a
first.
Bic lighter on his third birthday.
Yeah, I remember I was the happiest 3-year-old in the county. I got my first flamethrower. um, so yeah, no, and the college graduation, they get Arthur's flamethrower. Like it's like
Funny enough,
so proud of you,
I
son.
I in real life got a flamethrower when I was, I think, yeah, that was last year when I was 19. So, but before college graduation time.
Interesting.
Hey, this is a role playing game, right?
No, I'm dead serious.
Yeah, yeah. So was Cat.
Oh my god. Um, so now I'll say this much. So is your so you're spending 10 minutes in the or are you gonna spend longer?
I think there'd just be
Um,
10 minutes, right?
yeah, 10 minutes should be good. I
Yep.
can also use my signature
Yep.
item to leave another point of stress.
So yeah, you make your like you take your time. You can tell Mac like he's just kind of like he's sitting in one of the on one of the benches across from the cryopods, and his leg is kind of thumping a little bit. Like he's just he's definitely gotten cold feet about the whole situation, but he knows like well like, yeah, you can just tell what his demeanor is based on what's going on. So now, are you ready um, to do the next one?
Yep,
Yep.
I'm prepared as I can be.
Okay. So I'll say this much. So, um, you are opening the pod now.
Yep.
And also, the question is, would you have called Zavadska and or Arthur back?
Yeah, they're back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll call him back.
Okay. So they enter the room. And yeah,
They're too
and
much.
Zavadska, like, you could tell, like, she has that look of like, instead of like, I just had the best sex ever, it's like I just burned a body, like, just just like borderline evil pyromaniac kind of look, like just a delighted. Oh, that was wonderful.
That, that's not borderline. That is.
Okay. All right, then,
There's
yeah.
nothing borderline about it.
Yeah, I think you reached that border, then just hopped over it like
Yes.
you're
Yeah,
freaking
look
basketball
behind you.
player.
She burned it down. She didn't hop over it.
Exactly.
Anyway, so, um,
I just burned a body. Now I need a cigarette.
yeah. And then she lights the cigarette with the pilot of the flamethrower. Um, so, um, so as you are opening the pod, I will say, I need to double check a certain rule for something. Um,
Oh no.
where is? Give me
I
a
don't
moment.
like the sound of this.
Yeah, you're not going to. So, um, I need
Oh, we took
you guys. Who is the? Um, I don't see anything for groups. I'll say, who has the highest observation in the current assortment?
Don't look at me.
observation. That's a funny
Zavodska
word.
has a total of 5.
Probably her.
Well, hold on. How
Mhm.
many of the players have? Let's see.
I'm
I
a
have
Martin.
a,
I
I have a
have
total of 3 minus however much liquor he's been drinking.
So, so far I
I
see.
have a total of 4, but I don't have any observation.
Okay, so
Sorry.
Zavodska has 5. Martin has 5. Um, Mac has 3. So far there are 2 people with 5, and I default to a player being able to make it. So, Martin, go ahead and give me an observation roll, please.
Okay. Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, oh no. This is this is the worst possible thing.
So,
Here we
okay,
go.
so that brings me to the next step of the thing I was investigating. So, where is hold on, I need to just double check. Where the fuck
See,
is
ultimately, it doesn't matter how careful you are. The GM will just say, nope.
Yep. Oh,
uh
we made a mistake with
so
putting that
the
trying to
pod
put
is
that guy back.
currently opening up, but before Evelyn has the chance to um inject him, you hear rumbling in the vent above you, and then I'm just moving to the side. This thing drops down,
What?
and no
Oh god,
bullshit,
oh
an alien
fuck.
drops down out of one of the ceiling vents, and
Oh, mama.
so yeah, it drops out of the ceiling vent. Same as before. Everybody now, in this case, it's not a horrifying event, but everybody does get 1 point of stress for seeing an unidentified alien creature and a very large 8-foot creepy looking thing. So, yeah, everybody gets that 1 point of stress, and we are going to roll initiative.
As
I'm
as
gonna
the alien
die.
drops down,
What do?
Arthur notices and almost drops his shot glass.
Well, no. His first instinct is he just throws the empty bottle, right? Uh,
That comes
Oh,
later.
so, also, Miller, are you going to be in the room? Harrison? Okay, I guess not. But I'll still add him to the turn order just in case. And Horgust, are you in the room as well?
No, I moved out.
Okay, so what I'll do is I gotta add this fella.
I'm like right outside the door.
Okay.
I'm so close. I think I could kiss it. I don't like that.
Well, I mean, the way I moved it
Jesus.
is there so you could see it, but it's like directly on top of all the cryopods. So it's not like right
Okay.
next to you. It's sort of evenly, like it's at the center of the room, basically. Um,
Oh, even better.
and then
Right, and smack
You
dab
picked the wrong
among
fucking room
all
to
of
drop
us.
into.
what now? Oh, what was the question, Arthur?
No, I just said he picked the wrong fucking room to drop down into the center of.
Yeah. So, um, the
Now,
let's see.
is this like the thing that came out of the chest, or is this a different thing?
It
Is this Space
is.
Beast?
Yeah. Well, it's very close to what was described. So Morse's book described the creature as having a perfectly smooth head and also moving on all fours. This thing is standing on its hind legs and has more of like a ridged head, kind of like it's basically the same sort of cast as Aliens, rather than Alien 3. But it matches the overall description of like a long, like domed head and like a long tail with a blade at the end, that sort of shit. So let's see. So I've got the alien. I've got Evelyn, Martin, Zavadska, Arthur, Mac, Miller. I need to add Horgust. And I think that should be good. Well, do you want Ohio Tobias in there, or do you still want him guarding somewhere?
They'd be in the hallway with me.
Okay, so he's in the
Oh.
hallway, so I'll add him to the turn order. Uh,
Mhm.
and this thing should, I think,
Something
have
I
speed too.
something
Okay.
I just thought of is that would we have kept this door open or would we have kept it closed?
It would be closed.
Okay. And also, for anybody who pays too much attention to detail, you'll notice I rolled it twice, and the reason why is because aliens, and I forgot to do this for the fucking chest burster. Uh, aliens actually have a thing called speed, which means they can act multiple times in a round.
Oh, that's the best option.
Yeah. So
Huh.
That's terrifying.
yeah. So first one is Zavadska. Now the question is, do you guys want her to go first, or do you want uh like Horgus to go first and give her a command?
I would like that.
Okay. Especially because you're last in the
So,
initiative.
yeah, switch with Nick. Amelia switches with Nick. Nick switches with me,
Okay, so let's see.
and that'll put us in the order we want.
So
Because then Arthur's third, right?
yep.
Because you're the other flamer.
So let's see. So she switches with Mac, and then Horgust switches with Nick. Okay, so all right, Horgust. Um, you would hear, and probably also maybe depending on where you are. Did you say the door was closed or did you leave it open?
The door's closed because I can watch on cams.
Okay, so the door was closed at the time of the alien popping in to say hi. Um, So but you are seeing on your tablet, you hear a bunch of people making commotion. You hear something drop out of the, like, rumbling in the vents, and then suddenly this thing dropped out of apparently nowhere. Um, yeah, and I'll say this much: this isn't me just as a terrible GM, like pulling something out of nowhere. There is a reason for this. Um, but so you hear all that, you see on your PDAT, you see this large, uh, alien creature. So what are the orders you give?
So I order Amelia to flame the new alien that just showed up.
I was hoping you would say that. I don't know how to Polish that. Oh my god. Okay.
Holy crap. That's a good
That's
order.
terrifying.
I won't push that.
Okay. Good idea.
And my second command is So at this point, Evelyn's gonna actually have to roll to hit this thing, right?
What do you mean to hit
Because
it?
we're in combat.
Well,
The
if
the
Evelyn,
body in the
yeah, Evelyn, I'll say this much: if she wants to deliver the anesthetic, that is going to be like a slow action in combat. You don't need to do you don't need to do a roll for it. Well, actually, no, you do need to do the empathy roll to see if you succeed. Um, but that like basically, I'll just tell you right now that doing a command for Evelyn would be kind of pointless if your intent
okay,
is
that's
for
what I
her
was
to,
trying to get at.
yeah.
Yeah. Who's the other one that's in the room? The other
Um,
flamer?
the other flamer would be
The
Arthur.
room closed. Okay, so I'll do one for Arthur. So if Evelyn doesn't get it, Arthur can.
Well, I move after the alien, which is either very good or very bad, depending on what happens.
Okay, so roll panic, please.
Oh dear.
That's just stress, right?
Yeah, just click stress. So you're fine. Okay, that's Horgust's turn. Zavotska revs up that flamer, and she's going to just scorch it. So she gets a +5. She'll save a fast action to block. Um, she's going to uh, basically let out like a an aggressive, like all too eager, like roar as her flamethrower is roaring. And let's see, base modifier 5. Okay, so that is base damage 3, but as the flamethrower, it does have whatchamacallit, a fire intensity at 12, so that's an additional 12 dice. /R space 12 dB.
I'm not in the way of this thing, am I?
No, like I said, it's
Okay.
standing at the top of the cryopods in the middle of a room, so it's kind of towering over everybody, and she's basically firing up at it.
Okay.
Like what I'll do is I'll
Just
move
don't
these.
miss.
Yeah, like no, she didn't miss. So basically it'll move past a little bit. So it's right there. It's at the center of the room, and everybody else is just kind of around it. So now I need to roll that 12 dB. Let's see if it burns. Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, that's a good roll.
So
Very good roll.
like it's like that song like Burn the Witch. Scream, burn, 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 as she's like lighting it on fire. Like she has like that whole Fire Lord Ozai, like her hair is like blowing and like there's just this like demonic like slasher smile look on her face as she's lighting this thing on fire. The alien is screeching, and that is a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. So let's see if its armor holds up. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so oh wow. So here's the fun part. Uh I need to do a roll here. But no critical. Oh, hold on. She killed
Are we gonna
Oh, just like that.
it. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus
Ooh,
Christ.
I'm not even
that's
joking.
that
Yeah.
easy to kill a xenomorph.
Apparently if you're a deranged pyromaniac, but
At least
um
my
Oh
armor
no,
did well on killing
but
these
now the good
things.
news is I know it says torn
explode
apart.
again.
Actually it doesn't. And the reason why is cuz only an attack that draws blood uh can cause it to explode, which therefore means that fire
Oh,
doesn't. So it
I think you
actually
told me
doesn't
this.
explode.
oh, great. I'm
I
happy
think
about that. I don't want another acid power.
I'm glad I said
That's
fuse
enough for
fire.
today.
I think you told me about that because I was like asking like, what is the advantages of using a flamethrower against a xenomorph? Does it
It
like
doesn't spill
scare it
blood.
off or something? You're like, it doesn't draw blood. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
So, okay, so well, the good news is combat is over just like that. I was not expecting that kind of roll, but um, she
I
completely,
gave it a lot of successes. Plus, you
yeah,
rolled good and rolled bad for his armor.
yep. So end combat. Um, so yeah, like the alien, as it's burning though, as it dies, like it lets out like a very long pain screech. Um, and like as the fire, like it basically just slumps over and like lands on the ground at Zavotska's feet, and she just like kicks it, and then like like how the flamethrower is slung, she just cracks her knuckles.
Great shooting, Tex. Don't know what we'd do without you.
So
Oh,
okay, so yeah, that's the sit rep now. So, but the thing is, the cryopod is opening, and Captain Van Zant is he's coming too. So
yep, I'll make that empathy roll to try
okay,
and euthanize him. Not stress dice.
uh-oh. You can't bring yourself to do it. Like perhaps it's lingering guilt from euthanizing the one guy, but Van Zant rises to his feet. He, as a reminder, the facehugger fell off him, but he's looking around, and he sees Zavotska kind of like trembling a bit, like Beavis whenever he's doing the fire thing. Um, and there's this giant dead alien on the floor at her feet. Everybody else is standing around the room with guns drawn, and like instinctively he just throws his hands up, like, 'cause he's like kind of like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? So what do you guys say or do next?
I imagine my character is like, I'm trying to hold the dart, but just like shaking hands, and
Yeah.
finally I just lower them and I'll say,
Can I do a manipulation roll to get her to do it?
I can't.
No. It's something like basically it's an internal empathy rather than just following orders.
Then I'll tell Amelia to take it and do the action. Take the pea shooter and
or take the dart pistol.
yeah,
Okay,
I
so
call it the pea
yeah,
shooter.
so okay, let's see if she has the empathy. I don't think she does, but let's see. No.
Stranger things have happened. Like a one
She'll
success manipulation check.
Yeah, no, she just grabs that thing and sticks him in the neck with it.
Love her.
just
Or
like
a one die negotiation roll. Remember that one? I'm still
Yeah.
baffled by that.
So
I'm still baffled by that.
Yeah.
That was just too bizarre.
yeah, so she grabs him and just like injects him with it, and Macman is just like, Jesus Christ.
I look at
And
Mac and it says it's always good to have somebody like that on your crew. They could save the day when you need it.
so
Always remember that.
the question begs, I need to do another roll.
Yeah, let's see if Putski knows it's coming.
I'm gonna mark an additional stress just from that situation. I think it's character.
Okay. So at least for the time being, the facehugger or the goddamn it, the chest burster in the captain does not emerge after the tranquilizer is administered.
All right.
So the Zavotska over comms is saying to Captain Horgus, like, same order of business.
Yep. Let's get it outside and burn.
She she picks up the is holding the support arm of the flamethrower with one arm and like dragging the captain, or yeah, like dragging the captain and out of the room. Gestures to Arthur, like says basically the equivalent of "come on" in Polish.
Mila
And
can carry that one.
yeah,
as well.
oh, you're going to carry?
They need to.
Yeah.
No, one of you need to have the flamer ready.
Well, I don't have
Yeah.
a flamethrower. That's why they should each have the flamer
Yeah.
ready. Like
Well,
2
she's-
flamethrowers.
Well, she's
Miller carries the
dragging him,
body.
so that way, like, if the chest burster is coming out, she'll just let him go, and then Arthur can get this one.
I'll just be ready to throw the
Oh,
corpse
she's
forward.
saving one for me.
Yeah,
That's so sweet.
yeah.
So kind.
She says that she says to you, "Is like, I killed the big one, you get the small one." Like she says, like sort of jokingly.
Fuck! Sorry. Drag out the alien corpse as well. I apologize for yelling into the microphone. I could get myself out of a stutter.
Yeah, let's have the robot do that.
Okay, I'll drag the charred remains of
Yeah.
the.
Let's have the robot do it. I love it.
Okay. Well, what should we do with these?
I
And
heard
Miller,
that one.
what should we do with these? And Miller holds up the 3 biohazard bags, which are each containing a face hugger.
Burn them too.
Yeah, take him with you.
Okay.
Yeah, burn it
So
all.
Miller's got 3 biohazard bags and a hard remains of this alien. Of this chest burster.
Okay, so you guys are carrying the dead, like the dead face huggers, and then the captain's body um, out of the thing. So now, currently, the only people in cryo are uh, Glenn and Paz. So,
Just
what do you guys do
absolute.
next? Just a reminder of your current actual objective. You still have not fixed the engines.
Hmm. Did we regain health as well when we did that, like
When you were
break, or
chilling
is
for
that
10
only for
minutes, it
stress?
restore 1 point of health. Yes.
Cool. Good, good. Uh, after
That's the
after all that
stress.
happened, I think we lose two. We lose 2 stress, regain 1 health from that, I believe.
Correct. For every 10 minutes that
Okay.
you spend chilling.
Okay.
I was generous to you guys by not having the alien jump down during the middle of that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, um, so what is you guys' next course of action?
Fix the engine.
Okay.
Yep,
That
I
is
need
going to
to go
take
fix the engine.
2 shifts at work. Um, so that would be so let's see. We got to get 2 heavy machinery rolls.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
So let me
sorry.
turn everything back on that's useful.
While you're doing that, Arthur, what was your question?
I was just gonna say, despite being a big dummy, heavy machinery is a strength roll.
Yeah, Miller's also pretty good. You're probably better at Miller than heavy
I
machinery,
mean, you
though.
guys could. Well, hold on. What is Arthur's? He's got. Oh wow, 7 strength. And Evelyn has. Arthur has a better heavy machinery pool than. I mean, minus tools than Evelyn. That's kind of funny.
But we could give him the tools to use, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Evelyn. What you could do is like you guys could do like a combined roll. Like you could both be working
I
on it.
imagine I just like bash my forehead into it. I headbutt it until it starts working.
Um, does my I'm rechecking everything.
This is Arthur. I just posted.
Here, you turn the wrench while I'll keep doing this.
We have technology. That's what
All I
I
can
think.
picture is that what's that movie with when they're on the meteor and they got the Russian in the ship and the ship's not working and he's like, "Oh, goddamn Russian!" And he starts banging it and gets it to work or something.
I
Oh,
feel like I
I
know
can't
what
think
you're
what
uh,
movie
talking
that
about, but I
was.
can't think of it.
Yeah.
so equipment wise, I have a cutting torch, the bolt gun, and a maintenance jack. Do all those apply to this role?
I would say probably the bolt gun and the maintenance, or actually, hold on, what does the bolt gun do? I think that's for external repairs, right? Let's see, bolt
Oh,
gun, um, emergency hull repairs, so that would not apply. The maintenance jack is for diverting power to or from electric. I would say the maintenance jack probably does. So
okay.
go ahead and use that, but the other tools would not.
Okay. I
So,
just wanted to double check
but you
before
do
I
get
added anything.
a yeah, +1 from Arthur helping you by banging his face against the.
You never know; it works sometimes.
So 1, everything else is active.
Okay,
Son of a bitch.
so you succeed at the first stage of it, but remember this is a 6-hour shift. Roll panic.
To use
I can't
tools?
win for
Well,
Panic today.
I mean, the stress from the the alien encounter, because yeah. The question is, first half of the repairs are done. What is everybody else doing?
I want to sit down with. I want to keep calling him Mark, but it's not Mark.
It's Mac.
Mac,
So, all right.
and
So,
talk with him.
okay. Where are you having a conversation?
Wherever he's at. Is he in the galley? Is
Well,
in
he
a?
was, he doesn't want to go in the galley unless it's cleaned. Uh, but you could probably find him. I mean, wherever you want to talk to him, really. Like you could say, like, let's
We'll just
hang
go
out.
into med lab since that's the only room that's.
Yeah. So he's hanging out in the med lab, just kind of chilling. So you,
All right.
yep.
So I kind of. So Mac, what's your plans now? Now that half your crew's gone and you're now the captain.
Yeah. He says, well, I mean, the good news we still, I mean, I figure our ship will be, in working order long enough to maybe go to a port, find some, because we have, the bare minimum to run. We've got Paz, our pilot. Uh, Glenn can navigate, and then I guess I can do the captaining, and then I figured we could go to like Anchor Point or some other place where we could find some uh, replacements, and then just keep on doing the whole salvage thing.
Hmm. Well, I'm pretty impressed with you and whatever the lady's name is, that you're able to keep yourself safe in the ship all this time while you were waiting for us to get here. Um, we've got a good team here, and maybe you guys might be a good fit for joining us if you're interested.
So
We do a lot of missions, and we've got a good group here.
I'm just grinning because I'm thinking like, yeah, between a pyromaniac and then the hillbilly slayer of Yuppie City Boys, I mean,
Did
just from
not
the
make the
NPCs
best
alone.
impression.
Yeah, it's like,
Hey, you know what? You got to they when the shit hits the fan, I can rely on them. They take care of business, and it's their way of releasing the stress that they get.
Plus, we might get a free ship
Hey,
upgrade in the process.
you
so
know what? It's like I was in the military. You have all types, but when when the shit hits the fan, I know they're there. That's what counts.
well, when you mentioned work, Max, like, well, I mean, what kind of work are you guys doing? I mean, aside from answering distress calls.
We've kind of done a mixture of all kinds of jobs. We've cleared out a science um, base with these flying uh, aliens. We've tracked down a bunch of pirates. I'm trying to remember all the damn jobs we've
Well, let's
done.
see. So you guys have, in chronological order, you were helping an archaeologist acquaintance in being her security detail in an artifact exchange. Then you went to that colony and cleared out the locusts. Then you went hunting for poachers. Then you went on the terrorist hunt, and then now you're doing this. So currently 5 missions.
Yep. So I kind of go through it with them. I said salvage we would like to get into. Um, we just haven't done too much of that. Our ship isn't really set up for that. We're hoping to purchase a much bigger defendable ship to be able to do that kind of stuff with.
So, well, Mac, then he was saying it's like, well, I mean, that kind of mercenary work. I mean, I don't know why you would need us. I mean, myself, Glenn, and Paz, we're not soldiers. We're not really much use in a fight. I mean,
Well, we kind of need a pilot because our pilot is one of our. We don't have a dedicated pilot.
Well, I will say
Um,
Miller is the pilot, and you also have Mike as an additional pilot.
Yeah, we have two. You just have the
But keep in
player
mind, I mean, you
pilot
could
can't
still
run people
have
over.
like, because theoretically,
I always forget Harrison's a pilot now.
yeah,
But when we first started, we didn't have a pilot.
yeah. But so you've got Harrison as your like main pilot of the players. You got Mike, of course, as another one. Um, Though theoretically, what you could always do is you could have like just sort of mention this as an example. You could have like a ship pilot. If you wind up getting a
Yeah,
a
that's what
dropship
we need.
pilot, and then you have the guy for the APC. So
Yeah, and that's what we tell them. We said right now we've got a backup pilot and uh, a normal pilot. So our backup pilot has to stay in the ship when we're on the ground. So I would like to get a dedicated ship team to handle the ship while we're dealing with the ground.
yeah, so Mac he looks a little more receptive to that proposal. He's saying, I mean, we could do that. I mean, I suppose that's a good point. Um, so he's saying, well, in that case, we have a lot of memories, good and bad, of the Tekla here. He says, like with his arm kind of gesturing around, like up and around to the ship that you guys are in. He says, so I mean, what about our Tekla? Are you going to try to make a fleet out of your ship and ours, or?
Well, I was hoping you would, when you join with us, you would go in with us and sell both our ships and upgrade to this more enhanced ship that will be a lot more fun and be able to do much larger profitable missions.
He says, yeah, well, I mean, he's thinking it over for a minute. um, excuse me.
I pull up my pad and be like, see, this is the specs of our two ships, and then I go shoot, and then I go bam, look at that. Tell me that's not a nice ship, nice upgrade
Now,
for
I will
what we
say out
do.
of character, that you guys technically have not, the ship that I've told you about a couple of times, you don't technically know of that yet. It's just sort of like you would be searching like a ship. Now, I will say, like, kind of keep the moment you just said, you could always say, like, oh, I want to get one of these. It's just that you don't currently know
Oh,
where to get
I've been searching
the
I've been
network.
searching the used ship network, and maybe it's not the ship that we're going to buy, but it's something that
Yeah, like you
we're
want to get
looking
that
at.
class of ship.
Yes.
Okay. So, uh, so he looks at that saying, a Bougainville. That's an interesting choice of a ship. Military, military tech. I heard they're replacing the Connies in Colonial Marine Service. So,
Is that what he says to me,
yeah,
or
that's what he's saying. He's
okay?
sort of like as
He
a.
says, yeah.
So he's like, well, man, that's pretty ambitious. And you said you're planning to sell your ship as well.
Yep.
Mm, pretty ambitious move there, Captain. Are you what kind of ship is it? Because keep in mind, he hasn't actually seen your guys' ship yet.
Oh, I pull it up.
Okay, so he showed me. He's looking at the like Hawker Mantis, and he's like, uh, definitely a decent little ship for a motley crew of mercs. Though I can see why you'd want to upgrade to something bigger. Um, he said, like he's sort of thinking it over. Um, but I'll say by this point, because he's not like necessarily outright refusing, but yeah, I would say give me a manipulation roll. It's not going to be opposed. Um, but just like a flat manipulation, unless you have any like talents or anything.
I don't remember what this one does.
Oh, which one?
Oh shit! I could have been helping you guys, but I forgot I'm a counselor now.
Well, counselor. Oh yeah, for reducing
Love it.
stress. Yeah.
Argus the counselor. Get your goddamn ass up and do the work as I said. That's his counselor.
It's a type of counselor, you're not wrong.
Yep. No, I only got field commander and nerves of steel,
Okay,
so I don't have
so
any
it's just
extra
a
talents for
straight up
this.
manipulation. Okay. So roll stress, but you do overall. Hold on. What?
How
Oh.
do I panic in this situation?
Uh, I can't think of it
That's just kind
narratively,
of, yeah,
but
that's kind of dumb. You can't stress in this thing.
Yeah, you know what? You raise a valid point. In this particular instance, actually, hold on. Talents, Chris. Why does it say -1? It should be -2. So technically, that wouldn't be nervous twitch. So remove your panic.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but you do. Let's see. Manipulation. I think there. Let me just see what the stunts are. But yeah, you got to remember to remove the panic because otherwise it'll stack. Where are the
Yep, I removed it.
skills? Manipulation. Okay. For extra manipulation stunts, um, you can, uh, yeah, the three stunts available. Your opponent does what you want with it. I'll just share it. Hold on.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So I get 2.
Yes, your base success is that you convinced him of your offer. Like he's saying like, all right, I'm in, and
Okay.
then uh, your other two stunts are up to you.
So your opponent does what you want, so he is up for selling his ship.
Yeah, he's up. He
Okay.
doesn't ask for something in return.
Okay.
I mean, obviously
And
the
I'll take
expectation
number
is that you
3.
still pay him like out
Oh
of
yeah,
character, but
he still get the paid like everybody else. He just joins the crew, so he
yeah,
gets 50% of whatever
yeah,
share, and the other
correct,
50% goes in the team thing.
correct.
So and then your opponent is impressed by you and will try to help you later in some way.
Okay. So I guess you can either I can think of something, or if you have any specific ideas, that can be like a lingering sort of favor.
Yeah, I think about it. I don't know if
Okay,
anything off
fair
the
enough.
top of my head right now
Okay,
because I just met the dude.
yeah. Well, so he says, I mean, yeah, sure, we can. I mean, that seems like an agreeable thing. I mean, I'll have to talk it over with Paz and with Glenn, but I mean, what like I'm pretty sure that once they're brought up to speed on the situation, that they'll definitely um, they'll definitely be in it as well. Um, so he offers out a hand to shake as like a an agreement sort of thing.
Give him a meaty grab.
Okay, so you have successfully won him over, and now in the meantime, so you're having that conversation with him. Arthur and Evelyn are fixing the engines. What are Miller and Martin doing?
We could wake up the rest of the crew. They're probably gonna want their pilot up and ready to go.
Okay, is that something that Martin wants to do?
Do what? Because I didn't hear that.
He suggested pulling the other two people out of cryosleep.
Um, I think it would be a smart move to make sure that everyone has been uh under a an X-ray.
Okay,
Just
so
you know,
Well, I
personal
mean,
safety.
yeah, it's a good idea though. Keep in mind you still do need to actually get them uh get them out of cryo and take them to the med lab and run the scanner on them because that's where it is.
Exactly.
Okay, so
do that just to be safe.
who
But
are you waking up first, Lone Star or Curly?
Lone Star.
we already calibrated the machine, right?
Um, you technically, let me think. So you calibrated it for a specific purpose. So yes, you don't need to do the Comtech roll, but the scanner itself needs to do a roll to actually like
Yeah.
assess them. So you don't need to do a Comtech roll to program it.
So,
Yep, I
Princess
already
Vespa.
programmed it.
Here's a few scorch marks. How's the galley? Is the galley still a bit of a mess? I've
Yeah,
already cleared
Heather's
out
just in
most
there
of the
because nobody
poop.
fucking repaired her yet.
Oh yeah, Heather's there. I can't repair Heather.
Say Ohio Tobias is in there keeping her company and telling stupid jokes. In his usual fashion, enough about me, let's talk about me, kind of deal.
These two crew are gonna be very sad in a second
Yeah,
and confused.
so who are you waking up first? Both at the same time or just one or the other?
One in a just
do one at a
not
time.
at the same time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll do one at a time, just to be safe.
Okay. So which one are you getting first?
Uh, Who was it that we said
Paz
Lone
is the
Star.
pilot. Lone Star
Paz,
is the as the navigator.
well, we're gonna need both, but
Well, it's a matter of preference at this point, honestly.
Lone Star's a cool name though.
Well, I mean, that's not actually his
Okay.
name. That's just me making a joke.
Okay. The navigator. We're getting that.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, we'll
Let's
get the
go.
navigator.
So
Yep.
Glenn, okay, so you open up Glenn's pod. He shields his eyes from the bright like fluorescent lighting, and he's looking around. He sees the smart gunner there, and then the toaster, and he's like, "Oh, what? Who are you guys? What's going on here?"
Well, we've had quite a situation here.
And he's like making like smacking noise with his mouth because he realizes his mouth is really dry. He's very thirsty. He's like, "Yeah, you'll have to fill me in this. You got like some water or something?"
After you've been in under the X-ray, that
Keep
is
him
the first
Well, keep in mind
order of business.
that when you wake somebody up from hypersleep, they are automatically dehydrated.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'll bring in some water.
yeah.
You can drink water on your way to the X-ray.
Okay, calm down. He says as he accepts the water from Miller and basically like chugs the cup and then hands it back to him. So he gets up. Uh, he basically there in his tidy whities. He heads across the hall. Um, yeah, as Horgust is like sort of after he's concluded the conversation with Mac. Mac sees Glenn is like, Glenn, good to see you on your feet, buddy. And Glenn's like, yeah, I mean, who are these guys? And then Mac's like, they're mercs. They answered our distress call. I'll have to fill you in later. So, but he keeps talking to Horgust. Glenn gets on the scanner, um, like on the auto dock, and then now let me just double check what the auto doc has a medical aid of 6. So slash R6DB. Let's see. So both a positive and a negative is that you do this scan on him and it doesn't detect anything abnormal. Which is, depending on your interpretation, a good thing or a bad thing. Because remember, Kat, when she was scanned, there were no blips, but the chest burster killed her. Whereas Captain Van Zant, when he was scanned, there was the ultrasound of the
Right.
alien.
Right. Well, but what we do know is that according to everyone, these two have not had a
The facehuggers.
a
No.
face hugger.
Yeah,
Right.
because they were part of, as a recap,
Yeah.
according to Mac,
The rescue mission.
yeah, they were part of the rescue team that didn't get face hugged. Like basically, they showed
Right.
up, they saw their friends unconscious, and they dragged them back to their ship.
Good move.
So they,
All right.
at least as far as you know, are fine. At least they don't have the same parasites that the other 3 had.
Okay.
So yeah, but you don't. The auto dock does not detect any abnormalities in Glenn.
Right. Okay. Good.
So, do you leave him up, or do you get Paz?
No, we got Paz.
Okay.
The next
Yeah.
one.
So
Next.
Glenn, after you run the scan on him, he says like, okay, I'm gonna, man, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get something to eat. So he gets up and he starts making his way into the galley, and you guys just hear a what the fuck from him because yeah, like in Ohio Tobias like, hey, how goes it? So he's standing there. He's sitting down next to like a disemboweled android. There are acid marks, on the walls and on the floor. Um, and there are still like blood stains and acid burns and bullet holes where Cat was killed. So he just stands there absolutely catatonic, slack jawed, looking at Ohio Jones and like looking back into the. It's like, you guys mind telling me what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, about that. We've had quite the situation here, and Martin goes over you know, the situation and what's happened, and
Yeah, and he has like a clearly like incredulous like look on his face. Like slowly nodding. Uh-huh.
have you ever read Space Beast
Yes.
and you thought it was a good idea to see if it was real?
It wasn't my idea, but I mean,
Whose was it?
the captain's.
Well, he paid
What
for that
about
with
it?
his life. He paid for that dearly. So, um, that is how smart of an idea it was. Well, so captain is bye bye, technician is bye bye, and the third one,
Yeah, the security officer.
yeah, security officer is also bye bye.
He sort of like, sits down like with his hand on his head like an, oh, this is terrible kind of like, sort of body language of it. He just doesn't look exactly happy about it, but yeah, as he kind of processes the situation, internally, he just kind of mellows out a little bit. Um, so that is his reaction to it. And then in the meantime, Miller, were you still hanging out um, with Martin, or are you gonna go wake up Paz?
I was gonna go wake up Paz.
Okay, so you pull Paz out of the out of cryo. You're basically, she is a Hispanic woman with like sort of gray and orange clothing. Uh, a well, actually, she wouldn't have her clothing on in the thing. I mean, aside from underwear, of course. Um, but she, curly hair, you know, uh, you know, like tan skin, that sort of thing. She wakes up, and of course, same whole like, what's going on? Who are you?
Here's some water.
Uh, thank you. She says like just very nonchalantly. Um,
uh, we need to take you to the med lab to have you be scanned.
she finishes her water. What for?
Um,
Well,
parasitic organisms.
She just completely freezes, just kind of wide-eyed, like, and then she realized, oh, oh, I mean, myself, Mac, and Glenn, we weren't exposed, but sure.
We understand that. We're just being precautious.
Okay. She says. She gets up, puts on her slippers, and just walks across the hall. Gets in the auto dock. Slash R6DB. Okay, and the scan this time, like it does, it's more thorough. Because remember, glitchy 70s tech, at least for some of them. But the ultrasound comes up blank. There are no abnormalities in her chest cavity. So
good. One problem less.
yep. So she once the scan is clear, she goes into the galley, has the exact same reaction as Glenn. Um, but
Should move.
yeah, other than that, so that is there anything anybody else would like to do during the first shift, or are you ready to jump to the second?
Miller will move Heather
He's gonna what?
out of the galley. Miller will move Heather out of the galley
Yeah,
and put her somewhere better.
yeah. So
Yeah,
she
just
like as
put her
she's
back on.
yeah she's being dragged. She was like it was a pleasant conversation, Tobias, and he was like the pleasure's all mine. And so Heather gets dragged. Are you dragging her to the med lab or to mother or cryo? What are you doing with her? Miller.
I feel
Okay.
like the med lab for now, if it's not in use, if there's a table we could put her on, that'd probably be a
Yep.
good idea.
So you take her there.
I was
Okay.
thinking.
So
So when he brings her into our room, I'm gonna say, why don't you take her back to our ship?
I mean, it might be easier to work on her in here than on our
Or our
ship.
techs busy. Our techs are busy working on the ship. So once the ship is built, then we'll move back to our own ship.
That's fair. Not every. So I assume they're gonna be on this ship piloting it. Do we want anyone else on this ship? Since they're kind of on a skeleton crew now.
Well, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I got a plan.
So
Okay, I'll bring Heather to our ship then,
okay.
and make sure
So
everyone on our ship is doing well. I guess.
So, so did you convince the guy to start flying with us, or what?
Yeah, so that'll be my next shift is to talk to you guys.
okay. So we'll jump to the next shift. So let's see. So I need another same roll as before, Evelyn, like same dice pool.
Yep. I gotta put this one.
Nice. So, I mean, this is sort of like over the course of the 6 hours, like you finally repair the FTL, like starts like humming and glowing and stuff, so you know it's back online. You and Arthur have successfully fixed it. Um, so do you exchange any
Awesome.
words or what do you do? Well, also I will say
Um,
this. You, if you want, I mean, you already technically succeeded. But if you want, you could theoretically push and try to do it in less time if you wanted to.
uh, sure, why not?
Okay,
Oh,
so,
press it twice.
oh, well, no, you can't push it twice because you panicked the first time. So
Yep.
I'll delete the
I
second.
accidentally clicked it twice
Okay,
originally. Sorry.
that's all good. So do roll your stress. But um, let's see. Okay, keep it together. Awesome. Okay, so with your extra stunts, you could do it in half the time. So instead of like 6 hours, you could do it in like maybe like two or so, like like two
Yeah,
or
I'll
one
do
and a
that.
half even. Okay, so you're
Hmm.
working like that's where the stress is coming from. Like you're really pushing yourself to get her done. Um, but you managed to do so with Arthur's help. So yeah, and like I said, the FTL drive starts whirring and like lighting up. So what do you guys say or do, if anything?
We're
Uh,
probably just. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I'm saying like mainly to
we're
Evelyn
Oh,
and
that
still
was
in
Arthur.
directed
this.
to me.
We're still in that same second pass, right?
Yeah, I'm focusing on them first, on Arthur and Evelyn.
Okay,
Um,
go ahead then. Finish them
okay.
up.
So like, what do you guys do? Because you've got plenty of spare time, courtesy of Evelyn really pushing herself to get it fixed.
Hmm. I'm probably just like chattering and shooting the shit with the Arthur just to, try and like de-stress from seeing not one but two aliens today, and that's no bueno, man. That hope we don't ever meet those things again, because Jesus, sweet space Jesus, I hate it.
You
No.
know, I got a feeling after smashing my head into the machinery repeatedly, I got a vision that tells me we probably are going to see those things again.
Are you sure that's not just a concussion you're getting, man?
I probably also got a concussion.
I mean, at least you admit it. You probably have a concussion. Probably need to get you checked out back on ship. Like, uh, how's
Come
your
to think of it, I'm going to
uh,
remove a health.
how's your new arm hold up, by the way, Arthur?
Um, well, it hasn't fallen off yet, so that's better than the old one.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely a plus. Have you Have you modified it to be a flask yet?
You know, come to think of it, I haven't really gotten the chance due to the big fucking scary alien and his, little buddies.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if I have a couple extra minutes while we're doing this, maybe I can take a look at it and rig something up for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out a bottle from the pack because always got one on me, and two little shot glasses and gesture to share.
Share the wealth.
Uh, I'll
Exactly.
I'll wait
So
until I
Arthur's
get
just a.
done, bud. Unless, of course, you're just pulling out the two for yourself, then
Now that you mention it, I'm gonna pull out a third one. That's this one's for you.
thanks, bud. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
here's Arthur in action. The gif I just posted.
Exactly. Between taking the time just to like gulp down all the booze and just slamming his head against the wall. I can't say he didn't get anything done. I mean, look at the 2 bottles he finished while we were working these 2 shifts. You know,
Just two.
finished something. Yeah, that's an understatement.
Oh boy. By the time you're done, there's all that's left is what's in the one shot glass that was put out for you. Bottle's gone. You don't even know where the bottle went. It's gone.
Oh my god. Okay, so is that all you guys have for this scene?
I think
I'll
that's
after I
plenty
finish,
time.
I'll take the shot.
Because I'll also say
Yep,
this:
we're done here.
you could theoretically
Oh,
spend time using like banter and stuff, like heal all your stress and health for both of you.
Uh,
all,
yeah,
all
sure.
of it.
Well, we're
Well, for the time being, just focusing on Arthur and Evelyn, yes. Because they're just like they finished early and they're just kind of chilling. So we'll go to uh the other three. So to Horgust, Martin, and Miller. What are you three up to?
So I will on comms, since everybody's all over the different parts of the ship, let you know I talked to Mac, and we now have 3 new members of our team. They'll be our primary ship crew, and I did talk to him, and they are willing to sell their ship with our ship if we want to upgrade to much better ship. So they are now part of our crew. And if everybody's good with that, I will give him our comms so they can then join our comms going forward. So if anybody has a problem with that, let me know now.
Good.
nah, I'm all good with it, Captain. Or yeah, ain't that the truth? Let's see.
Let me see. Hold on.
you can probably imagine what's in first.
Alcohol.
Yeah, yeah.
um. Okay,
It'll
so
cure all your ills.
we apparently have 3 more crew.
Yep. As a
Hmm.
side note, I just did the math. Depending on how hot Horgust rolls with bartering to sell the ship, you could potentially actually get the ship I've the ship in rumors uh, just by selling these 2 ships.
And then we can use the money we have to actually upgrade it
Correct.
because it was missing stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. The other thing is, since we just had an alien drop in on us, can our fighters go around and just double check the ship, looking everywhere and making sure we are clear?
Um. Yeah,
Whoever's
so
left, let's have them. Everybody, whoever's left that's not working on repairing the ship, divvy up the ship and scout it. Make sure everything is good.
all right, so I would say in that case, give me a whatchamacallit, a motion tracker power rule.
Oh, wait, what?
A motion tracker power
Yeah, you
roll.
use
What the hell is that?
so to use the motion tracker, you roll its power supply, and yeah, and then if there are any actual signals, then obviously you've spotted something. So basically, whoever has the motion tracker, roll its power supply and see if the battery goes down.
Okay. I can roll mine because I
Okay.
have mine.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh, okay. Sorry. Now I got what you're saying. I was like, I thought it was some new skill thing or something.
there we go.
What the
There's the.
hell are you talking about?
Okay, so
Oh.
your Evelyn, your power is actually should be 5. I think you had something else that added 6.
Oh, I didn't turn off the flashlight.
Okay. Well, I'll just remove the last one. Uh, but your power supply goes down to 80% on the motion tracker. Sorry, what's up, Martin?
Well, I have a motion tracker too, and it's got power 4.
Okay. So you want
So
to use that?
I would if I let me see here. It's on inactive.
Okay.
Double click on it to put it to active.
No.
Yep.
You left click on the picture to like left of the name,
Right. Okay.
and then you just click
So
the
now I
power.
have it equipped, and now I go back to.
Well, actually, what you can
Apologies.
do is if you click on the under inventory, and then there's PWR for power, and then you just click that number, the 4. That should just roll the motion tracker.
Yeah. Yeah, I switched back to. Tunk. Come on. It's not rolling.
Let me see.
What do I need to do?
Well, roll for me when I clicked it. For future
Okay, then I
reference,
probably did it wrong.
yeah, like for reference, there are the different categories in the inventory, like quantity, range, PWR for power, and then if you click that number under that next to the motion tracker, which currently is 3 because your battery went down again, but
Right.
you would click that number, and then that rolls the power supply for that item specifically.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Because I
but
clicked on power under consumables, but
yeah. No, I will. Yeah. So you don't.
and that's fine.
Yeah, you
I'll
don't.
remember that.
Okay. You don't actually detect any signals though.
Okay, good.
So nothing is sneaking up on you. Okay. So
Yep.
yeah, the
So
area.
ship is safe.
Yep.
It's
Ship is safe. So
it's
um
clean from its infestation.
yep. It's not clean from all the blood and stuff. You might need to clean that, but
No, I said infestation.
I know. I'm just saying that if you want to sell this thing, you're
Yeah,
definitely gonna have to
may help
clean
the
it.
selling price.
Yeah.
Uh,
we've got a we've got a while to get this ship back. So
Yep. Okay, so are you guys ready to leave the planet, or are you gonna sweep the prison?
no,
Oh,
I don't think we
no.
want to stay.
you
The
know,
job was to get the ship up and running
Yeah.
and then fly out of here. That's what we're doing.
I get a pretty strong feeling that the big scary things weren't only in this ship. They're probably other places too.
Yeah, but that begs the question though: is would you want to risk other people encountering the same thing?
I'll put up a
Ah,
sign. Don't
Considering
and
they're not me,
he makes a sign, writes on it, don't go in here.
So that was
we
going to be my
theoretically like
question.
nuke it. We'll attack because we have. I think we have onboard guns,
You have
and we
railguns that
orbital
theoretically could.
miss, but
bombardment.
I don't
Yeah.
want to waste ammo. Is there a beacon we could put up? Sort of like Star Trek when they come across a bad area, they could put a beacon up and just to warn people.
so
I feel like a beacon would draw people in.
yeah, the problem is that your ship, like that is not really a capability that you would have. Now the good news is the colony Well, the good news and the bad news. The good news is that the prison facility does have a beacon, like a that you could theoretically program. The bad news is the colony is on low power mode, so you'd have to go in and like restart the generator and stuff to get it, back online. But you could use the prison facility's transmitter to, like, basically you can hack into it and have it like broadcasting a warning.
Oh, that worked so well the last
Uh,
time.
yeah, no, I don't want to go in that place. Um, the other question is since I'm ex-military, I probably still have some connections with the military. Could I send a secure message to one of them and saying, "Hey, we just rescued the ship. There's some aliens over here. You guys might want to check out."
That wouldn't be a good idea because technically this is restricted space.
Oh, it's restricted?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that's why these guys didn't call for military assistance, because basically courtesy of um, the incident with the Sulaco and the refinery closing down and Weyland-Yutani saying, "Oh, this place is off limits, don't go here," because they're basically trying to cover it up. The problem is that Space Beast is luring people in. Like, just as far as um, Glenn's, or not Glenn, Mac's crew, uh, they went here, but they may not have been the only people to come here. Like, the problem is that so long as Space Beast says, like, oh, this planet, like, there was this incident happened here, that ironically lures people in. And
Well,
yeah.
that's a steady flux of income for us because we know now what to do with
Well,
it.
but that begs the question though, is that if, like, it may be a steady source of income, but the thing is that would you want to rather like do that, or do you want to just go in and kill any possible remaining aliens?
Hell no.
I do.
That ain't our job. We're not getting
I
paid to
do.
do that.
I do, but we're not getting paid for that, and it's too risky.
Okay. So,
On one hand, it would be fun.
yeah,
On
it
the
is.
other, I mean, we're not getting paid by the hour.
Well, but it is more of a question of like morality and like ethics of like, would you want
We're
to risk?
We're
mercenaries.
not that
What
good of
kind of
people.
morality is that? You
Okay.
know,
Yeah, we're
we
mercs.
We're
don't have any.
mercenaries.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
It,
so I, I'm gonna go back to my. I gotta have some buds that I would feel comfortable saying, "Hey, you know what I am, what I'm doing now." That we could back channel it.
Um, I would still overrule that and here's the reason why. In addition to restricted space, that remember the Weyland-Yutani has a very interesting dynamic with the Colonial Marine Corps. Like, as
they
in
own it.
basic, like, well, they don't quite own it, but they were involved heavily in, like, even back with Weyland Corps, its predecessor. They have a very strong influence on the Colonial Marine Corps, and like, you could suspect that they may even like monitor it in a sense. Like, so it depends on how comfortable you feel with not only reaching out to the military in restricted space, but also reaching out to something that Weyland-Yutani personally doesn't want anybody to know about. Because if they find out about it, they could very well be after you.
We work for them,
Uh,
right?
No. Oh, you don't work
Well,
for them, but
sometimes.
well,
With contracts, though, right?
well, let's see. So in terms of the contracts you've done, the the so the archaeologist that you were working with, she was paying you on behalf of the scientific institute she works for. Um, the colonists, like when you saved those people from the locusts, they were paying you directly. It was a Weyland-Yutani company, but it was, or Weyland-Yutani founded colony, but it wasn't the company who was paying you. The poachers were from the colonial marshals, basically the police. Um, the what you call it, the terrorists were by the Three World Empire, like the Imperial military, and then this job was by Glenn, or not, I keep saying Glenn, Mac. Um, So Wayland Yutani, to date, you have not done any jobs for them.
And can we keep it that way? Thank you.
Yeah, it depends on if you want to risk putting yourself on Wayland Yutani's like watch list.
I don't. You know what? I don't give a shit. If not my problem. If
Yeah.
I don't have an option, then it's not my problem. So I don't feel bad if I don't have an option.
I think we obviously shouldn't actively make things worse, but if it costs us something to do a good thing that would only questionably have a good outcome, because probably just nobody going to this planet is the best option, right?
Well, that's
Because
why
if
I
you send
was
ships here, then there's a chance that they'll leave with these things.
correct because the
So essentially, then the question becomes: is there a way to blow up this facility and still coming out alive?
Nukes are an object in this game.
they are there are
They're not
yeah,
cheap though.
the nuke launchers
Yeah,
are a
but do
thing,
we
but your
have
ship
them?
no. Your ship has railguns and ASAT missiles, which are basically like guided missiles for ship combat. They would not be powerful enough to destroy the facility.
There you go. And even if um, we don't know if there's anything in here that is powerful enough, like a reactor. We don't know if it has that. There's too many unknowns, and we may be equipped. And he taps his he taps his smart gun, but um, we don't have the numbers. They do.
Well, they as in the aliens.
Yes.
Okay. Well, and because keep in mind, you don't necessarily know how many are down there and how many people have been here and that sort of thing. So,
We know it was full of prisoners. We know these things
well,
come out of.
now I will say this in terms of prisoners, Morse's book does mention um, that the alien that was down there that basically was killing everybody did just that. It killed almost everybody at the prison facility. There weren't, and it
Okay.
also like there weren't that like I think there were like roughly 24 prisoners, but the only people that he like the alien captured the prison superintendent. Um, they never saw him die. The only
Mm-hmm.
two people who weren't killed by, I mean, aside from himself, the only two people who weren't killed by the dragon uh, were Ripley, because the chest burster was killing her, and then a guy he called 85, who was gunned down by a Wayland Yutani trooper, or like commando, after he attacked some company stooge, as he called him, with like a wrench. Like he attacked a guy with a
Right.
wrench, and in retaliation, one of the commandos lit him up with a pulse rifle.
Well, in that case, my question is, where did the eggs come from? There were eggs down there. That's
They said they found them on like a lower level, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause they told us where
But,
they
but,
found the eggs.
but why
Right.
are there legs down there,
Good
right?
question.
Because only a queen lays eggs, right? Question mark.
Well, we don't know that.
We don't know that. Yeah, I
Yeah, I mean, not
my
even
brain is like,
Morse, not even the author of Space Beast, not even he knew.
yeah.
No, but what we do know is that Mac told us, "Hey, there's 3 eggs, and these things came out of there."
Yeah.
Okay, we do know that part. So from there, it is a quick jump to. So where are the eggs coming from? There's more down there than we're paid for to deal with.
And keep in mind that there were the 3 facehuggers and the 3 eggs, but there was a 4th alien.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get out of here.
Nuke it from orbit.
Well, that's not an option because you don't have any
I
nukes.
know. I wish we had nukes. That'd be amazing.
If
'Cause,
only.
I mean, let's be honest. That would be our solution to everything.
Yeah.
Which we do
Just
nuke it from
lobbing
orbit.
nukes at it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have an option really. I mean, we're not going in there. There's nobody to communicate it to, and we can't leave a warning here without going in. So we leave.
Okay.
Like the planet.
So,
We're
that
mercs. We're not
yeah. Well, you're still human beings, at least ostensibly.
at least half the group.
Yeah. So, very good point. So, you said you were going to leave the Tekla crew aboard the Tekla. Um, did you still say you were going to leave some of your crew aboard this ship as well? Like some of the NPCs or what have you?
Probably, yeah. We're gonna have to probably split. So, I do follow up with Mac, make sure the rest of his crew was good with this.
Yeah, I would say that during the subsequent shift, that he probably talks it over with Glenn and Paz and gets them on board with it. He just kind of explains the situation. They're like, well, I mean, half the crew is dead, and we don't really have any other better options, so sure. So they
Okay.
follow their uh their leaders you know orders. He's saying like we're merging our crews, and they're like, okay.
All right, so we'll connect them through our comms and
Yep.
everything gets done correct.
Yep, and I'm just moving them all to the bridge so I can keep I'm moving the people who are going to stay on this ship to the bridge. Who among the NPCs are you going to leave? Because just a reminder, you have 5 NPCs who are part of your base crew. Heather is in a bit of a bad situation, needs to be repaired still. But you've got Ohio, Tobias, Zavadska, Vinny, and Mike.
Well, we'll definitely send over the flamethrower heavy guy because they need somebody to fight
Yep.
because they're not fighters.
Yeah, so Zavadska stays with them.
And then, do we have another fighting NPC?
Yeah.
Tobias and Mike.
All right, we'll send those two over there.
Okay.
Oh wait, Mike is our backup pilot though.
Yeah. So if you want to send them now, if you want to give them a mechanic, you could send them Vinny.
All right, we'll send him one mechanic. So, and his job while we're heading to the sell the ship is to. So when you sell a ship, you get a detail to make it look as nice as possible.
Yeah.
So that's what I want him to do. I
So
said
he'll
I
clean
need
up.
him to make it look like so when somebody comes and inspects this thing to figure out what the value, make it look as good as
Yeah.
possible.
So he just looks at you and flatly says, "You always know a working Joe," and then just gets like just casually walks off and starts cleaning up.
Good.
So
Let's
he's
start with the galley.
yeah. So he starts cleaning up the galley. I'm not gonna move his token there, but okay. So you guys, let's see. I will take us to Stars in the Middle Heavens. Okay, let's see. So I'm just waiting for everybody to connect. So while you got, oh, that was convenient. So you guys are leaving Fury 161. I would say and your next course of action, you're looking for like a shipyard.
Yeah, so like, is there a place do we have to go to a shipyard to find out what they have, or do they have like online lists that we can
Well,
look
if you're
for?
looking
And
for, so the kind of ship that you're sort of gunning for is a very recently developed military class warship. So it's not the kind of thing that you could just buy one on eBay. Yes, I know there have been like tanks for sale on eBay, but this is a different matter. So you would have to basically like pirate shipyards are a thing, um,
uh,
kind of like with black markets. So I would say do a manipulation roll to see if you can like ask around, be all subtle like to try to see if you can find a shipyard. Other people can boost you with this. If anybody has manipulation, you can give them a +1 up to a max of +3.
anybody have manipulation?
Let me
Yep,
check.
I do.
Okay.
And probably Mac does too, right?
Mac's not on your. Well, no, I suppose he could look around. So let
Oh,
me see.
uh,
I've got
real
one rank
quick.
of manipulation apparently.
Yeah.
I can roll for manipulation using strength instead of empathy.
So let's see. So Mac has manipulation of 2, Martin has 1, and Evelyn has 1. So yeah, you can get a +3 from that, Horgust.
Okay.
So the reason I know Arthur, you mentioned it, but the thing is that you can have a max of 3, and those were the first 3. So
Oh my god.
Gotcha.
There you
Oh
go.
no, what happened?
Okay.
Sweet. Jesus, that was a lot of dice.
I will dock off the. Well, you're fine anyway. So, um, I would say that technically the last two like you should only have one stress because like you would technically have zero. It's just you pushed, so that would give you one.
Right, that's why I have one up there.
Okay, so I know, but I'm saying it shows you with three
Oh yeah, I
post-push.
was 3. I didn't
Yeah,
redo
that's
it.
what I'm
I was
saying.
like,
So, yeah.
okay.
So, okay, so you catch word of there is a shipyard like that is sort of hush hush near Lebanon 2, like in that general sector of space. Um, so I presume you would head there.
And for my upgrade for my second success, or was it? Did I get one, or did I need 2 successes?
No, it's not an opposed roll. You just need one to win. However, with the nature of this roll, extras like stunts don't apply because you're not trying to like
Okay.
manipulate a person. It's just like basically
Okay.
representing you asking around. Um,
Okay.
so
I was just going to ask for some more information about the location we're going to, which would have been number 2.
okay.
But okay.
Okay, so you guys, let's see. You have an FTL rating of 14. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 parsecs. 14 times 4 is 56 days. So buckle up. Yeah, 56 days later, you make your way to um, a pirate shipyard that's kind of out of the way. Well, where's the move token thing? There it is. So move your token
Hi,
here.
puppy. Oh,
Uh,
sorry, my dog walked in.
okay.
So you saw my dog. I was like, oh, you must see my dog. I was like, I don't know my camera on.
So okay, so you make your way to Lebanon 2 with your small little fleet. Um, drop out of FTL near the station, and as you get closer to the station, you can see that they have that like this pirate shipyard has a number of ship classes, kind of going in and out, some of which are docked, and one of them would in fact be one of these. If I can find it, where is hold on, view? Oops, one moment, please. One of these.
Oh yeah. Is that a cannon on top?
Yes, yes, it is.
Oh Jesus.
It's a heavy railgun.
Jesus. I like it.
Very nice.
So you notice that um, as you bring your two ships to the shipyard. Well, first you're contacted by somebody at the station who hails you. I mean, this is of course after you get out of cryo sleep. Um, and notices two ships coming in and asks you, how did you find this place? You're not feds, are you?
I said no. This is the. I don't think we ever named ourselves,
Yeah,
did
you
we?
did.
Uh,
Your
did
ship or
we?
your squad?
Squad, whatever merc group we
I
are.
mean, Steel Talons.
Okay, we're the Steel Talons. No, we're a merc group. We're looking to upgrade our ships, and we understand that you had some good ships to browse, and
Yeah,
I see one we're looking in. So if we can have clearance to come in, we would like to negotiate a sale.
yeah. So he says, you know, you know, you may dock at like whatever port he gives, but he says the stipulation though is you board unarmed.
Okay.
Like, he's saying like just a security precaution, whether it's prevent like a hostile takeover of the station or the risk of a firefight causing a hull breach. We don't allow weapons on board. Um, so he, but he otherwise, after making that very clear to you, he gives you both of your ships clearance to dock. Um,
Okay.
so there's that. You dock with the station, and you are greeted by a couple of people, various shapes and shapes and sizes and colors and the like. They say it's like, so you're the Steel Talons.
Yes, we are.
And it's like, yeah, you got a bit of a name for yourselves nowadays. We heard that you weren't you the ones that took out those terrorists, that Scoresby fella.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's pretty fucking impressive. So he said, well, he starts giving you a rundown of the ships. He mentions that, like, well, did you like, as he's giving a rundown of the ships that he has in stock? Do you mention the Bougainville, the ship that I shared?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he mentions like, oh, that one. Yeah, yeah, we got it. From less than legal means, from a marine shipyard. We managed to catch it. Before like they put uh, the rail guns on, but they didn't have time to install any other armaments. So she says, pretty fine ship. We're looking at. Let me see what uh, the fucking price that I gave for the damn thing. Where is it? Um, okay, hold on. So he says that the ship's like it was we call it the Black Gauntlet. It is currently selling for 96 mil 925. So he says like yeah, I don't know how much you guys have, but uh, that's what we're selling her for.
All right. So, what are our two ships worth then? Out of character. Sorry, I'm
So
not asking him.
the red carpet, your starting ship, is worth $86 million. Though that ship I'm selling, I'll let you sell it at the base price. The whatchamacallit, the Tekla is the base cost is 17 million flat. However, as I said to you, well, to everybody, um, you would, if you were going to haggle it, you would be able to, like, the base value would be 50% of that, and if you, for each additional success on your manipulation roll, um, you would get, um, it would boost that by 5%, so that could be up to 75% of the base value. And if you fail, as in you don't get any successes, you still sell the ship, but only at 50%.
Okay. So, I tell him, well, we've got two ships we'd like to sell
Hmm.
to, to purchase
What
that.
kind of ships are we talking?
I'll pull up the specs for him.
Okay, so he looks like, oh, Mantis. Hmm. So he looks at the Mantis, and then he looks over at the Tekla. I was like, oh, Mantis and a Corvus. That's interesting assortment. So he says we'll give you base price for the Mantis, but um, that that Corvus is looking a little worse for wear. He says because remember the Tekla is a very old ship. Um, like it runs, but it's kind of like an equivalent of a car that has a lot of mileage.
Yep.
Um, so he says like, well, we'll give you 50% of that base costs. So that's basically your cue to try to do
Yep.
manipulation to
So
haggle.
I'll manipulation and let them know that, hey, he pulls up the maintenance records. This is all the maintenance we've done. We've done these upgrades. Whatever our tech over there made it look good. So I'll use that kind of
Okay.
information to up the price.
So I'll say that gives you a +1 to your roll. Well,
Ah,
actually,
shit! I didn't. Hold on, I hit the wrong button.
well, if now here's the thing: if you want, you can stick with that roll because you did get several successes, or you can do a combined roll with some other people to back you up, like you get like Mac helping you and so forth. So, do you want to stick with that, or do you want to re-roll with a +4?
3 successes. What do you guys think? I like the 3 successes, but I could get more with a but I could also get less. Now, are you able to push that roll? Because we're talking to
Because
somebody,
you
right?
panicked, no.
Well, no. If I re-roll.
If you re-roll and you don't get a splat the first time, yes.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, so re-roll with
Yeah,
a plus
because
4.
I need to reduce my stress too. Because
Yeah, that would actually, yeah. So technically you would have 0 stress because you've come out of hypersleep, but when you push,
yeah,
you automatically. Okay, so yeah, re-roll, no stress, plus 4 manipulation. Do you want to push that?
and I will push that.
Okay.
Didn't help.
Okay, so you haggle it up and he says, okay, Captain, you make a good argument, 60%.
Alrighty.
So let's
So
see.
what's that put us at our total?
So let me calculate that now. So 60% of 17 million is 10,200,000. So 10,200,000 plus 86 million is 96,200,000, which is no bullshit, is very close to the cost you need, because the cost you need is 96,925, and you're currently at 96 2,000 or 200,000.
So I tell him, okay, then for both, what do we do? A swap. You take our 2 ships. We'll take this one off your hands.
Well, he says like, I mean, that's still a net loss for me. So I mean, you're gonna have to throw a little extra cash in the pile. So he's basically what he's
No
telling you is that
manipulation roll.
no, you already did the manipulation. That's
Well,
him
no, we
saying,
did the manipulation roll to sell the ship. Now I'm doing the manipulation to do the deal
well,
of
no,
2
like I
ships
said,
for 1.
the intent of the manipulation roll is to see if you sell it with the bonus. It's not 2 separate rolls. It's all in one. Like that's basically you're offering
So
the
how much
Tekla.
money do we have to give them?
You paid let's see. What is I just need to do some math. 96 9 what was it? 950? 925 minus that you would owe him another 725 grand, but that I believe would be doable for you guys. Because remember, you did just get paid like I think 1.250 million.
Okay.
So if you
So
deduct some from your payment for this job, it's yours.
okay, let's do that then. And how much money was left over from the payment after we pay for
Okay,
the ship?
so the payment was under the job board. The payment was, hopefully this isn't too boring, guys, but we're trying to just do some math here. Um,
Fine.
one, oh, hold on, 1,250 minus 725 is you would have $525,000 left over.
Okay, split that by the number of party members.
Okay,
That's how
well,
much
you guys
everybody
have, I
has
mean, I'm not
from.
going to do all the math for you, so you guys kind of do some bookkeeping it yourselves. But
I
yes,
thought you had an Excel sheet that did
no,
all this.
no,
So what do we have left?
$525,000, which divided by 5 current players would be, hold on, let me see, because I'm just using
Well,
Google.
100 plus
Yeah,
a little bit.
$105,000 for each of the 5 characters.
Okay. So everybody add that to your sheets.
Okay. So you throw that extra money in and you sign away the leases or whatever to your current 2 ships, and the guy gives you the access code for, well, he also asks you, like, do you have any vehicles aboard your current ship that you need transferred to this one, like any vehicles or suits or anything of interest.
Yeah, we load all our stuff. That's our stuff
Okay.
in the I'll call it the tank, and we have 1 tank that needs to go
Okay.
over.
So they'll be using the APC, like they'll move the APC from a larger umbilical like docking tube. They also have like a bunch of power loaders, like stomping around carrying like crates full of your guys' stuff, kind of like movers in space. And the guy,
Speaking,
the leader of the shipyard, basically.
speaking of
What's up?
speaking of which, do we have a power loader?
On your current ship, no.
Okay.
You could
Was just
absolutely
curious.
buy one, but you guys don't have a power loader either on the red carpet or on this new ship.
Okay.
But yeah, so
What
the
does a power loader go for?
power loaders, I don't remember, but I will check 'cause now I'm curious.
I wanted to buy one for you, but I think it was too much money.
Power loaders are $50,000.
That's
Oh,
expensive.
Oh, yeah.
That's
We can easily do that.
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
They give
that's
a heavy
pocket change by
machinery and
now.
close combat of +3 base damage rating for to close combat attacks. Requires skill level 2 or more in heavy machinery, aka a class of 2 rating. So
If I had that for close combat, see how many dice would I be rolling? 15?
Before
dice.
bonuses? Holy shit.
Do you have the heavy machinery to pilot it?
Uh,
yeah, you
not
need.
yet.
Okay, well then, yeah, you would have to level up your heavy machinery to 2.
Seems like I'll be giving you lessons in heavy machinery,
Yep.
Arthur.
Probably.
So, yeah, you do have your. You can get a power loader. I mean, you could probably buy one here, honestly, if you want.
If need be, I can just pay for it entirely on my own. I'm not opposed to doing that.
All right, if you want to do that, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna do that.
also, another thing the guys offer you is he's saying like, well, since you're obviously gearing yourselves up for war, can I interest you maybe in a dropship to accompany that APC you've got?
What's the cost on a drop ship?
So they come in a couple of different varieties. There's the UD4B production model, which um, is the original iteration of the dropship. It can carry 8 passengers but does not have space for an APC. There is a UD4C gunship, which is basically the same thing except it has more weapons. Um, there's also the standard UD4L Cheyenne dropship, which is the one that you see in Aliens. That's like heavily armed, can carry 15 passengers and an APC,
The Apache.
pretty much. Um, so you can get like a mix between a dropship and a gunship all in one. And there's also a UD4S Sky Crane, which has weapons and it's basically like so it can't transport passengers, but it basically can has crane to carry like large stuff.
Where can we? Are they in the book?
Yes, they are in the vehicles directory. Like a lot of the variants come from the Colonial Marines manual, but the base Cheyenne dropship um, hold on, is there a show players option for an item? No, I don't think there is. Um, if you want to get a Cheyenne, so it's 3,100,000.
And that's the one that can handle the
The APC.
the tank.
Yeah,
Right?
it could hold the APC and it also doubles as a gunship because it has a nose-mounted Gatling gun, unguided rockets, 7 air-to-ground anti-vehicle missiles, and 3 air-to-air missiles.
Now the next question I have is just we got these cool guns. Do we have ammo for them
Cool guns as in like the
on our
railguns?
big ship that we just bought? Yeah.
Yeah, they would have a
Do we have
supply
ammo?
of. I'm not going to track railgun ammo honestly, but you
Okay.
would just assume that you have enough to be able to work with.
Okay. I wanted to make sure we didn't have to buy ammo for the ship. We got guns, but no ammo. At first comment, we want to shoot the guns. You go, you don't
Click.
have any ammo.
Yeah. But rest assured, your railguns are like primed and ready to be used.
So what do you guys think? Do you want to get the drop ship or do you want to upgrade the big ship? because
Um,
in group loot we've got 3,176,000.
Oh, I didn't realize you had that much.
A dropship could be nice. I could bring down the APC easily.
it's not just could, but considering the amount of armament, the amount of rockets and bombs, etc., that it can bring, mm, yeah.
Can the Cheyenne
Yeah,
attack? I know.
I vote yes as well. I used to work on these things.
Out of
These are a
curiosity,
lot of fun.
so I know there's like rules. Ships can't target ground targets, right?
No,
Usually,
or
but
it's a
how does
large
the
warship.
y- yeah, but how does the Cheyenne fall into that as a gunship? Because it's got like the
The
front
gunship,
turret.
as the Cheyenne, can target ground targets and like basically vehicle and smaller scale. Like, because this game breaks it into like personal scale, vehicle scale, and ship scale. It can target other vehicles and ground targets like people and aliens, but it cannot do any meaningful damage to larger ships.
Okay, I think a Cheyenne is then very much worth it because that means we get to fly in, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, and then that way you've got 3 pilots in the form of Paz who can operate your ship, and then uh, Mike can like run people over or fly the Cheyenne.
Yeah.
And I can
I can imagine him
pilot
flying over,
those.
goes, "I ain't any fun just running over city boys, but it's still pretty fun." Something like that. That sounds like a Mike thing to say. Expect to hear that at some point. Um, okay, so
So
you let's
before I have one question, Cody. I know this is a cut down version of the ship. Is there anything we need to upgrade in order to be able to be functional with this ship? Or is
um
everything basically there that we need?
basically everything like the base cost um of the like I calculated the 265 million of the actual cost of like a fully equipped bogey. That includes the stuff like the nuke launcher, the missiles, the close-in weapon system, laser defense. Like so, that brings me to a good point. Your ship, the new one, does not have countermeasures. You would have to buy those.
And what's the cost of countermeasures?
Countermeasures come in 3 varieties. There is the, let's see, uh, hold on, where is the
Uh, Sensor decoys,
Yep,
sensor drones, and a seaweeds.
CWIS. Yep. So they come
Yeah,
basically they are the difference is so let's see the CWIS laser array gives you it's a size 3 hard point. It gives you a +2 bonus for shooting down incoming projectiles. Um, Sensor decoys are what you had on the red carpet that don't have a bonus. And then sensor drones are sort of in between. They're a size 2 hard point and they have a bonus of +1.
they're very expensive.
Yeah,
All of those options.
yeah, countermeasures are pretty pricey, but they basically are like a second line of defense before damage gets to your armor.
The cheapest one, the decoys, is 1.2 mil for reference.
Yeah.
Who needs countermeasures?
You guys do, because before you joined
People
Miller,
that
there was
get
a
into
point.
combat.
Yeah, you got shot by a rail. Actually, no, I think you were there.
I was here.
Yeah,
I
you were.
was here for that.
Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah, that's where my arm went.
yeah, that's where he lost an arm.
Yeah, I remember that.
So,
We still have that, I think, like in a cooler somewhere.
so
I'm gonna go
Okay.
for a beer and open up the fridge, and oh, hey buddy.
It's just,
I put it.
your own arm is just sitting there positioned, flipping you off.
You got a
Long,
spare.
Just
I
holding like another beer.
Oh yeah, it's holding a beer. That's even better.
it's a running joke to pose it in different
Different ways.
situations every time you open the fridge.
So as a party, do we now that we know about this, are we still all good with the drop ship? Or do we want to get the countermeasure for the big ship? 'Cause we can't afford both.
Um, the dropship
We
may be
need the
something
drop
we can
ship.
invest in later, but I think it would be good to get the countermeasures first. Just a just in case type thing. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Because I will also add that technically with the dropship, um, well, it's kind of a gray area, but the bogey can actually land on planets. It has planetfall capability.
It does or does not?
It does.
Okay.
So now, but the thing is that I don't think it's ever been established if when the ships land, if they're able to just drop a ramp and deploy vehicles. I think it's a case where they have to have a dropship to do it. Like that's kind of the military doctrine. Um, so keep that in mind. Like basically, your ship could land on a planet, but I don't think it would be able to deploy the APC. So basically, if you want to deploy, like the red carpet was able to, because it's a very small ship. It lands and a ramp drops out the back, and the APC just drives down. Um, but bogies are very large ships, and also there's the possibility that you might wind up in a situation where you can't land on a planet, like whether it's like the surface is not right or whatever.
Yeah, we need a pretty big area to
So
land.
that's something to
So we're
I
consider.
gonna be
imagine
walking a lot.
I imagine if we were going to land and disembark, it would have to be like a proper landing pad or something kind of built for.
Exactly. Like the problem is that the ship that you just bought is 300 meters long. Compare that to the red carpet, which I think was like 44 or something like that.
Oh,
We were really living
So
cramped in a.
there was a very substantial difference in scale between the two ships.
Okay.
That's one
So
word
how
for
does
it.
this work for everybody? We buy the drop ship now, but
Mm-hmm.
we all agree our next job, all the money goes to getting the defense for our ship, for our big ship.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I
good with
think
that.
that's
works for
fair.
me.
Okay.
And does
Quick,
Mark's group or Mac's group good with that?
Yeah, Mac. I mean, he just is like, you're the captain, so we'll
Well,
follow your lead.
okay.
Well, I'm
uh,
not a tyrant. I like hearing what people have to say about
Yeah.
it.
So that's good.
We are
does
mercenaries.
does this new ship have a salvage crane?
Yeah, it does not. So that's
I
What's a
mean,
fortunate.
that's
salvage
only
crane cost?
100K. We should probably 100K.
Yeah, I think we can all. I mean, we probably like I got 86,000. I mean, if we all put in,
I'll put 25K on that.
yeah, if we all put in some money towards that, does everybody agree to do that?
I can put some money in. I only have 13.
Yeah, same.
Oh, you only have 13?
I spent a lot of money on getting a robotic arm and
Oh,
some other things.
no, I got you. I'll cover you
So let me just double check something.
as a commander since you got hurt under my. Oh god damn, that really probably killed me. You know that, right? We probably needed to roleplay that better. I don't care about Heather. She's fucking dumb bitch going into a combat situation without weapons and armor.
Well,
And
you
I want to make
Ah.
sure that everybody has armor.
but also you still haven't fixed Heather.
Yeah, no,
I,
that's
I
not.
I could do that role to fix Heather, but I
I
can
figured we would have it
contribute
fixed by the
50K
time we
to
got
getting the
here.
crane.
Well, the problem is you can't fix her while you're in hypersleep, and you still need to do a roll.
Hmm.
Oh, we don't have enough. We don't have another android.
Does
You have
Miller
Mechanic.
finished,
try
There's
and
but
do
only
it?
one.
Should I roll? Should Miller roll?
Miller can't push if he fails. So
And I have 0 in Comtech.
yeah, so you probably would want to leave that maybe to Evelyn.
Okay.
So Evelyn, do a Comtech roll to put Humpty Heather back together again.
Great. I will also give 50K to the getting the salvage crane.
Okay. So let me just double check something. 'Cause I'm trying to see how the hard points
So
thing
come.
works.
So if you're giving money towards the crane, put it in a chat in the game so I can figure out how much I need to put in.
Okay.
Oh, I was the one who bought the sentry gun. That's why I'm so broke.
Also,
No,
I
that's
No,
just
cool.
I'll raise it to 30K.
by the way, just so you guys know, another thing you might want to consider is you can buy additional hard points for your ship.
Yeah, I think we have enough for now, though.
Well, I'm saying
We
like
don't
because
have
you've
much.
currently got a one class 3 available and one class 2 or two class 2. I mean,
Oh, we got a lot of upgrades on this ship.
Yeah, like all the stuff that's listed
Um,
on like the picture, those are stuff you have pre-installed. But I'm just saying that like certain things like the countermeasures would take up a hard point, which I believe depending on which one it is, like for example, the Sea-Wiz laser array um, is a size 3. Um, how much is that one? That's 45 million. Geez. Um, but anyway, so
I'm looking at the cheaper one just to give us
right,
a
I
chance
know
to,
it's just
yeah. So it would be one hard point. That's worth one hard point to
yeah,
reduce damage coming in at you.
yeah, absolutely. So
um, am I getting any help on repairing Heather, or just
If I can help at all, maybe learn a bit about
yeah, you can get
repairing her.
a +1 from Miller. Well, actually, Miller, no, Miller.
I don't
You said you don't have Comtech.
I have nothing in
Okay, so
Comtech.
you can't assist.
okay?
Does anybody have Comtech?
Anything else?
Yeah, that's what.
Let me check the NPCs.
I know Vinny does, I think, or unless
Vinny,
he's the heavy
Vinny
machinery.
has no, he does have 3 in Comtech, and yeah, so Vinny can give you a +1.
Are there any items that like give a bonus to Comtech rolls?
Yeah, there are a couple.
Yeah,
Electronic tools would probably help.
mhm. Yep, I
Does
have
Evelyn
those.
have that?
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Uh,
Applicable to the situation,
don't think
no.
anything else.
Okay.
So you would get a +2, one from your tools and one from the. Okay, so you at least. Well, do you want to push that?
Yep, I'll
Okay.
push.
Okay, so Heather gets 4 HP back, so she's fully back in working order.
Yay!
So during all this time, are we recovering any health at all, or
Yeah, yeah, you're back to full health.
okay?
So let's see. So you wanted to get a salvage crane for the Black Gauntlet. Yes?
Correct. And what was the
Yes.
cost on that? The exact cost, so I
The
know how much I have to
salvage
put up.
crane is $100,000 and it is a size 3 hard point.
Okay, so it's 100. So I needed 20.
So I will add that to your thing. Let's see, modules upgrades. Salvage crane is added.
Uh, so I gave 50, Blitzy gave 30, and you only need to, that's 80, so you only need to put in 20.
Yep. Yep, I did 20. And then what damn book has the pieces? Like, I don't see
The upgrades. Well,
yeah.
if you look in, there's
So
spaceship
it's
modules and weapons in the items directory, but also if you want to look in the player guide, I will pull up the spacecraft basics chapter, and you can it's a pretty large thing, but you can look over that and let's see, spacecraft basics, show
But
players,
where is the other book?
the
I
Colonial
don't see
Marines.
the other
Yeah,
book.
the Colonial Marines is neither the Talons nor the book is showing for us, I think,
Oh,
Cody.
okay, hold on, let me see. Colonial Marines Operations Manual, player guide, configure ownership. All players set to observer. Okay, see if you can see it now. I set Colonial Marines player guide to visible for players.
Yep.
was
There it
there
is.
ship
Yep.
stuff in this one too?
In the Colonial Marines manual, there are a couple new ships and there's one ship weapon, but that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Like the near entirety of everything related to ships and ship upgrades is in the player, like the core rulebook.
There's the Mikoyan OX series Hamp V.
And did you put do we have a ship now as an as a object, like
I
a actor?
Yeah, I made that, but I just need to actually add that to your like give
Okay,
you
because I don't
access
see
to
that.
it.
And did you move everything from the other ship over?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Configure ownership. All players set to owner of the Black Gauntlet. Which, speaking of, you can always rename your ship at any time. That's just the default name I picked for it because it was a reference to something else and it sounds cool. Um, Also, I was working on getting you guys your dropship. Beauty 4L Cheyenne retail
So
dropship.
guys, when do we plan on getting a Ridgeway? I don't think we can buy one of those, probably.
Well, the question is, why would you need one?
What if we run into more xenomorphs? I feel like,
You got an
a
APC
tank gun would
and a
be
gunship now, so
more guns is more good. That's what Grandma
so
always told me.
what do you have a name in mind for the dropship? Or
Ooh, that's a good question.
Seabiscuit.
Yeah, I like
Seabiscuit?
that one. I like that. That's a good one.
That is. I was like thinking of stuff that, like, what's something that could be like fast or something? It's like Seabiscuit. Yes.
I mean, we could rename it the red carpet, so we still have that little chunk of history to our characters.
The red carpet too.
alright, so let me see. So Cheyenne, I'm just adding that to your okay party Cheyenne
We gotta name
dropship.
the APC.
Rolling Thunder. I don't know.
Head.
I like that one.
What's a
What about
tractor hitch for?
Tractor hitch is for hauling cargo, like towing cargo, which suffice to say may be a useful upgrade to pick. Like basically that would actually be a prerequisite if you wanted to accept any jobs for like towing disabled ships or towing cargo or what have you. Like you would need a tractor hitch for that.
Okay.
So
We can add that to the list.
okay, so I've added the sea biscuit, uh, and let's see, I'll just remove the red carpet from view, so that's not really in the way anymore. Let's see, red carpet. What the hell? Okay, so let's see, you've got the APC, you've got the dropship, you've got the bogey. Um, anything else that you're buying?
I'm looking. Hold on.
Okay. Then I've added
Um,
the whatchamacallit to your ship already, the salvage crane. And keep in mind also hard points are a factor. Like you've currently used up your class, like your size 3 hard points, so you've got 2 size 2s. But you can, again, you can buy more hard points for your ship.
yeah.
Actually, wait a minute, hold on. I might have done the hard points wrong. Let me just double check something right quick. Are modules available? Oh yeah, I definitely did it wrong. So I was thinking of the armaments, um, was what I fucked up on. So actually, you do have a lot, and I mean a lot of hard points available or modules. Um, like you've got, according to my Excel sheet, you've got 1 size 4, 3 size 3, and 5 size 2.
Okay.
So, I mean, if I did that right. Like basically armament hard points and module hard points are tracked separately. So speaking of which, I should probably not have closed that Excel document. So let's see.
Question: does the size of the ship affect how easy we are to hit?
Yes, because basically, so signature is what you're looking at. Because signature basically means that so to acquire a target lock on another ship, um, the enemy gunner has to, or like the gunner has to do a target lock, or the comtech specialist, excuse me, the sensor operator has to do um, a target action, which basically you do a comtech roll, and if you succeed, then you've acquired a target, and the gunner can fire at his or her leisure. The signature affects how easy it is to do that. Because, like, for example, the red carpet had a signature of -2, which means that if an enemy was targeting you in a space battle, they would be rolling comtech of -2. The black gauntlet has a signature 0, so it's a flat roll.
Interesting. Okay, so countermeasures are probably something that we need more so than on the other ship.
Correct. I mean, well, countermeasures would be useful. Were useful for you on the other ship in the sense that, like, basically, if you took one heavy railgun shot and your armor didn't withstand, like if you took 5 damage or more, your ship would be outright destroyed. That technically would have happened, but because I didn't want a total party kill on like session 3, I overruled that. I said like, okay, you just took a major component damage, which in this case was Arthur's arm getting crushed.
I guess that's a component.
Yeah, that it is. Um, so. Um, Suffice to say, though, countermeasures would be extremely useful on this ship because that, like a smaller ship with less HP, that keeps you alive. So
Now you said this thing is planet.
it can land on
We could
planets.
okay, because I didn't see it listed there.
Yeah, well, if you look on the in the modules.
Yeah,
Oh,
because it.
that was
I
my
guess
mistake.
that's it. It's an upgrade. Okay.
I just forgot to do all the upgrades, like modules and upgrades.
Okay.
But if you look at the image, like all the stuff under upgrades, like that's stuff you have already pre-installed.
Yep. Yeah, we got some nice stuff.
Which, especially the FTL rating of 6, you put it in perspective, your previous ship had 14. So it means you actually get to and from places faster, which is good if you're like time crunch.
Yep.
And also you have the same +2 to thrusters, which means that Miller gets a +2. Flying it, which is good.
Miller may not be able to push, but he can roll just an ungodly amount of
Yeah,
dice.
exactly. That's kind of the thing with this game is quantity over quality.
Okay. So we have the upgraded displacement drive,
Yeah,
enhanced sensors, and overpowered thrusters
yeah,
already.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Like I was just when I was building the ship sheet, I just put in the internal modules. I forgot to do the upgrades.
Okay.
But rest assured, you do have all the upgrades.
All right, because that's what I was looking at was
Right.
better sensors, but
Yep.
since we have enhanced, we don't need that
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Okay.
I'm good then, because I can't afford anything else. So
Okay. So I put the so you got the Black Gauntlet, you've got your Cheyenne dropship, the fucking Seabiscuit, which I hope isn't actually something offensive, but um, that I'm just oblivious to.
What?
I don't know.
Why would
Never,
you
I've
assume
never
that
heard.
from me?
I've never heard
It's
of it.
I don't
it's like a
know.
generic horse name.
Oh well, man, I don't know. I've heard some things in the past that not necessarily from you, but just in general that kind of like I was like, whatever. And then I found out, oh shit, this was something. But I'll take your word for it. So, okay, so you got your dropship, you got the Black Gauntlet, you got the what we call it. Now I will say with this ship, the fact that they were stocking it with what we call it, like basically the actual modules rather than like the niceties, the essentials. I will say it does not come with space suits or the galley and stuff is not pre-stocked. I will say to fill the galley and including with beer, that would be 10 grand.
I'll pay that. That's
Okay.
out of my pocket.
Okay. And then spacesuits are an individual like basis per character. Whoever would.
Could we not have taken our spaceships
Like
suits
I
from
last
the
session
other
I
ship?
bought.
Um,
Well,
I suppose you could actually take them. That's a good point.
my question is because I mean, I'm not sure if the other suits came with the ship like the prior ones, but I did buy a Eco 2
Yeah, I
all
remember.
world
Yeah, I remember
systems.
that. I know you and Evelyn, and I think Martin also got those. Um, but keep in mind, Tom, and answer your question. Remember the suits you have are the ones that give you a -1 to all agility rolls while you wear them. And they also have an air supply, I believe, of 4. So that's just something to keep in mind is whether you want to stick with those suits or buy better ones.
I'd like to buy better. Where are they at?
But this
Where would
being a
I
space
find them?
station, you could probably just like you could either buy them here or you could buy them at like a common like a common store kind of deal or like a specialty store that would still be commonly available. So basically the spacesuits, um, just whichever one you want to get, spend the money and it's yours.
They appear under
It,
the armor tab.
so any of the suits and armor are
Well, basically the spacesuits, there is the two eco suits. Those are spacesuits. The IRCs, the Mark 35, Mark 50 are spacesuits. The Mark 35 is what you have by default. Um, and I think that's basically it. Like the ecos and the IRCs.
but the Mach 35 have better armor rating.
They have a better armor rating. I mean, that's true, but well, keep in mind the Eco 2 has an armor rating of 8, which is the highest in the game. But it does have
Where's that at?
it's still an armor. It has a weight of 3 though.
Yeah, the Eco and the Eco 2.
Yeah, the Eco 2 All Worlds Systems Hostile
I
Environment
must
suit.
be on the wrong list.
Yeah, you're looking under items or like armor
I'm in weapons and armor, suits and armor.
in the
Uh,
journal tab or
I think you
In
want to go.
the RPG rulebook.
okay, I'm talking
Oh,
about like cuz the problem is the Eco 2 suit does not appear like that's from a supplement that I
Oh,
bought.
okay. That's why I.
So, look in
you
the
should be able to
actual
find it in
items
the
directory.
items. Yeah,
Yeah, and then you'll
items
find it.
directory. There's all the stuff there. It is
Okay.
funny that I still don't get why the Eco like 1 is more expensive than the Eco 2.
I don't know.
It has less. I guess
Maybe the
it's
weight.
lighter.
Yeah, maybe the weight is probably a factor, but I mean, if you can put up with the weight, then the Eco 2 is just better.
So the Eco 2. So what strength do you need to use this?
Um, there's no requirement in terms of strength to use it, but it does have an encumbrance of 3.
Oh, I don't care. I'm a pack thing. Thank to one of you
Okay.
guys gave me that
Yeah, and also keep in
pack
mind that you
mule.
cannot wear it simultaneously with the Colonial Marine armor, like it doesn't stack. It's a separate suit.
All right. So I'm buying one for myself. So
Okay.
I'll deduct the 20 off of it.
Okay, so 20 grand and it's yours.
And where did I?
Is anybody else buying any other suits?
Uh, yeah, I'll get what he's having.
Okay. So you get a so $20,000 and you can get a an Eco 2 All Worlds yada yada yada. So where is it?
So this is a black market station. Do they have a black market within the station that you can
No,
buy weapons and armor?
this is a dedicated like pirate like a space station for ships. Like it's a shipyard.
Okay, so they don't have any other.
No,
Okay. Do they sell ammo here?
no.
Okay.
Uh, Theoretically, could you use this without using the air supply system?
Theoretically yes.
Okay. Hmm. It's
Like you
got
just go
8
like
armor.
basically just go around without a helmet, but the caveat is that of course if you're in a situation where you are in it like you kind of like neomorph motes or something like that, then like basically a sealed air supply combined with that suit makes you pretty much impervious to like any sort of like airborne contaminants or toxic atmospheres or what have you, but you're still running on an air supply. Whereas if you're going
I'm
around with
not.
like the visor up, then you're fine.
Okay. That's 8 fucking armor. Good
Yeah.
golly.
I'm
If you're
not
an
sure.
android, wear it.
Oh no,
Turn
you
the
can.
air off. You don't need to breathe.
Yeah, I could just live in one of those suits. Just boom, boom.
Yeah, the question is somebody going to either give a spare set of armor to Heather or buy or something, or what is the plan?
Yeah. Well, yeah, she's definitely getting. Uh, so she can have my old suit for. Well, she's an android. She doesn't even need that. What's the other regular combat armor
Um,
that
so
would be? That
so in
the
terms of
M3?
the M3 is the 6 armor, like the Colonial Marine armor. Um, Also, in Arthur, in answer to your question, to move stuff to inactive. Is that your question?
No, to the Foot Locker, so I'm not
That's what I
carrying
meant.
it.
Okay, so the foot locker. So right click on the pencil icon and then add to locker next to an item.
Okay,
Okay, that's what
good,
does it.
because I lots of heavy shit.
Yeah. So anyway, so in terms of armor, so the M3 armor is like the Colonial Marine body armor, and that's what everybody's been wearing up to this point. Um, there is a cheaper option in the form of a Kevlar Riot Vest, which is armor rating 4, but it's like $600. They would not sell it here though. So basically, your options in the immediate here and now for getting suits for, um, your Android would be either A, one of the Mark 35 suits that were aboard the red carpet, B, somebody's spare set of M3 armor, or C, like buy her a new suit here if you want to give Heather armor. And it's also worth
Do you
mentioning that
think
Vinny does not have armor either, but he does have 7 health.
do you
Holy
think
crap.
the pirates might have some of that like Soviet armor?
The 6B90?
Yeah.
No, because again,
Okay.
this is like a pirate shipyard rather than like a pirate black market.
Gotcha.
So that basically they're selling vehicles, ships, and like suits rather than like basically everything.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So we can't. Can we get the M3
No.
or not? Oh, okay. I'll wait and get her M3 when Black Mark.
Okay.
She can have my old air suit.
What kind of suit was it?
Uh, from the ship.
From
The default one.
from the spacesuit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she'll take a Mark 35. She doesn't need the air from it. So let's see. Heather gets a IRC Mark 35 pressure suit.
And then I'll get her. I'll get her an M3 once we get to somewhere we can buy that
Okay.
stuff.
All right. So, um,
Cool.
so you've got
Um,
what's up?
oh, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt. Uh, so are we going to a planet where we can pick up stuff? I assume we're still on the place where we picked up
Yeah,
the ship, correct?
you're still at the shipyard. Which speaking of, are you done getting upgrades for your ship?
Yeah, we can't afford nothing else.
Okay. Um, so
Oh
the
wait, we
question
need to
is,
take off.
do you want to, um, is there anywhere else you want to go, or do you want like your next mission to sort of trigger?
We may need to head to a black market planet to pick up some more equipment, especially like the armor and stuff.
Is there one in between where we got to go from here?
Well, you haven't received your next mission yet, which is why I was asking you if you wanted to or not. Um, so what do you want to do?
Does anybody need anything right away?
Eh, not really right away. No.
Because I say we get the new mission, and then if we have a black market between them, we go there. But otherwise, we just go to the mission. Because I don't think it's a. It's not a. Our next one is a ground-based mission, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So Heather will stay in the ship anyway.
Yeah. So, um, yeah. So you guys get. I would say that you're leaving the shipyard with your with your new toys. Um, on your way to your next destination, like let's say you were maybe going like Anchor Point or something, you actually pick up a distress message um, from a colony so you get from a colonial guard. Where's the journal? So I will show players this. So you get this transmission.
We haven't left yet, right?
You have, like I was saying, like based on the fact that everybody was
Ah,
done shopping, you were maybe like, let me move your little token, like you're maybe like here, like on your way, say to Anchor Point Station, and you pick that up on your way there.
gotcha.
So like basically, in terms of distance, you could probably get to that planet in like 6 days, courtesy. I mean, unless of course you overcharge the engines, which case you can be 5.
Yeah, I'd say that we get there as fast as possible.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so
Couldn't hurt.
Evelyn, do you want to overcharge the engines on this ship? Because now I will say that before, I know you used that stunt for like don't have to repeat the challenge, but the thing is that I would say that that would count for that specific model of ship. It's like a whole
Yep.
new ball game.
That's what I'm assuming.
So yeah, you would have to do a mechanics roll or a heavy machinery to um be able to overcharge the engines. And as always, you can get help from crew members. Like for example, Vinny, I know he's a heavy machinery machine. Um, and Mike has heavy machinery 3, and Zavadska has heavy machinery 3 as well. So you've got 3 NPCs who have heavy machinery 3 and could all help you.
Very cool.
So you get a
Yep,
plus
I can
3.
definitely do that.
Okay.
Let me just make sure I've turned off everything that wouldn't apply in the
Yep.
situation. The maintenance jack wouldn't do anything.
Cutting torch and bolt gun would not either.
Yep.
So it's basically you
Those
just
are
use
all
this
off.
from yep.
Great. So heavy machinery. I get a 3 from the people.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Let's boogie.
Do you want to push get extra success?
Why not?
Okay, so yeah, you get a stunt. What would you like to do with the stunt?
I will. I'll give myself a future +1 when I have to like do something
Okay.
in
I
this
mean, you
vein
don't want to
again.
do the don't need to overcome the challenge?
You know what? That's probably a better one. I will take that
Okay.
one. So whenever we need to, you know,
Yep.
uh,
So you can get
whatever.
there in 5 days rather than 6. So basically, I'll say that you jump to FDL, and the question is, do you guys think this would be a natural good point to stop, or do you want to keep going a little bit into the mission?
Well, I have my cleaner coming in a few and do vacuuming. So for me, this is a good point to stop.
Okay.
I
So
think we're stopping. I got really nauseous suddenly, so
okay, well,
I would agree. Yeah.
so do you want me to? So let's do XP right quick, and then uh, we'll call it a day. So everybody, get your sheets up.
okay.
So where is developing your character? Okay, everybody ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Everybody got a point for participation.
Okay.
Did you risk your sacrifice? Did you follow your personal agenda?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Did you risk your life for your buddy?
Maybe.
I would
I think
argue sticking
No.
around for the big scary alien shit would count.
We were in the room together, Evie.
But I don't know if that would count for me. I know it counts for you, but considering I went after you, I never really had to do anything because
Yeah, I mean, because
most of the
Vodka
time the
just melted
danger was.
the alien on the first turn of combat.
Yeah, the danger was never directed toward me, and you're the one who just destroyed the chest burster.
Yep. Yeah, but but you also inadvertently destroyed Heather because the acid
Ooh,
spray.
yeah.
Um,
Unless we count Miller carrying the body that may or may not have had a chest burst to burst out.
I would say that's kind of a stretch.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So,
thinking as well.
okay, so yeah, but if you risk your life for your buddy in a meaningful way, did you challenge and stand up to your rival?
Don't have one.
Isn't hold on, Miller? Yeah. I recall somebody calling Horgust out for his like callousness.
I did call Horgus out for his
Okay, so you
callousness.
actually get a point for
God,
that.
I
So
do.
yeah, if he's
Okay.
if he's your rival, then you get a point for that. Like you get like a what the hell man to him, then that counts. Um, whoever I think just about everybody made a panic roll, so yes, everybody who isn't Miller gets a point for that. Did you overcome a dangerous event using violent or yes,
Hell yeah.
very.
Violence.
Yeah, I mean, because there were two two aliens. Martin absolutely destroyed one of them, and then Zavatska torched the other. Um, so there's that. Did you make a significant discovery or revelation? A couple.
Yes.
Yeah. And just a reminder, everybody who has answered excess of 5 is getting extra points now.
Okay.
So did you make a significant oh, you already did that, sorry. Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
Yep.
Yeah, fuck. I
Okay.
mean, Martin for killing that chest burster, just the sheer overkill of it. Like, what was that? Like 10 successes?
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but it was pretty bad. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was like 10 successes, and then you absolutely smoked that chest burster. Um,
I think it might have been like 12,
I
possibly.
don't really think it's extraordinary, but I had to euthanize that one dude or one person. I forget if
uh,
it's a dude or a chick.
yeah,
Definitely sad.
yeah, I wouldn't go so far to call that
Yeah.
extraordinary, but um,
I followed
Would
my
you
orders as a soldier almost,
good
so
soldiers follow
that's
orders.
would you
So
give the 5 successes for the attack on the thing that came out of the dude's chest command roll
well,
with five successes?
um, I indirectly, I'll say yes, and the reason why is because you doing that enabled Zavatska to kill the alien in one attack.
Okay.
Um, I wouldn't do that just for every command roll you do, but I'm saying because you did that, that was what enabled her to kill it.
Okay.
So yes, like I would say that's like very efficient command. Because you said like smoke it, and she did just that. And did you earn any money? Everybody did. Um, so yeah, you now so yeah, if anybody would like to spend XP, you may do so now. Of course, just a reminder, it's always 5 for a skill or a talent. For a talent, you can either be taught by somebody or do a wits roll to learn a new talent. And then for skills, if you already have a point, you can just level it up for 5. Or you can have somebody teach
Uh,
you if you don't have any ranks.
Can I take learn one more observation? I have 1 point in there.
Yeah, you can do it without having to do any kind of rolls.
Okay. So
and I be taught in
2
heavy
and
machinery.
Do you have 5 points?
I
Well, yeah, that's I answered my own question. Yeah, you do because we just did XP. So yeah, if you have 5 points and somebody teaches you, yes.
you and in addition, we can't get over
Okay.
5 with
With skills, no.
skills, right?
No.
Okay.
5 is the cap.
and 4 is the cap for attributes.
Well, you can't increase attributes with XP, so.
Oh, right. Mm, yeah. Okay.
I upgraded command to 5.
Sweet.
I think I
Um,
want to.
nope, sorry. I was thinking aloud. Would tough be a good not specialty,
Talent to take?
uh
I mean, it gives you 2
talent,
extra
yeah.
health, so yeah. And Summer has tough, so she could teach you that. I think other NPCs might have it. I think it's either Ohio Tobias or Zavotska who, yeah, Zavotska has it. So
Yep, I'll spend the points on tough
okay,
because I don't I'm not the squishiest of the team, but
yeah, that
I
honor
like
goes to
like
Heather.
more health.
I'm wondering if I should grab pack mule. I am reaching my weight limit, or my halfway limit. That makes it so I take penalties.
Yeah, if you want to do that, I mean, somebody can teach you that because I'm pretty sure we got like half the party has tough.
Yeah, I'm certain some of us have tough.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Well, tough. Yeah, I mean, Evelyn just got it, and I mean,
Yeah.
Zavotska and Summer have it.
I
I
do.
want to grab pack mule. I
Yeah,
think because of
yeah, you can get back
Yep.
to you.
Super
Cool.
handy.
Yeah.
cool. Is that something you have to drag over?
I think players can do it
No, you
themselves.
can't. Yeah, you can do it.
Okay.
You can do it.
Oh, there it is. Talents. Boo boo boo. Pack. Not there. Do, do, do. I don't see pack mule on the list for some reason.
In the talents.
There it is. I found it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in general talents.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get pack mule. Cool. So now
Something I will point out, Cody, is that where we used to have like the drop down menu for like the Colonial Marines like general talents, it's no longer showing
Hold
up
on, let me
unless
see.
that's a thing.
What the fuck? Oh yeah, MO. Oh yeah, those talents. Hold on, let's see. Edit folder. CMOM talents. Oh no, it's not edit folder. It's configure ownership. Talents. Let's see. Just to make sure I got that right. What is this set to observer or owner that I should? I think it's. I'll set it to observer for CMOM
Observer.
talents. Yep. So there are those 5 talents: all terrain, driver, bypass, and all that stuff. And because all of you are established to have an ex-military background, you are qualified to get these 5 talents.
Nice.
Which ones? Sorry?
There are 5 talents in CMOM talents.
Okay. Oh,
I definitely think it might be a good idea at some point in the future, not like the near future, but like distant future, to get like a possibly a better sort of APC. Because I like
oh.
ours, but it's a bit risky that it's so easy to absolutely destroy the thing on rough terrain.
Oh, did that ever get repaired? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
It's almost fully repaired. It's missing 2 hull points
Yep.
there still.
What do we need to
Yeah,
repair
I'll
that?
Arthur. Yeah, I can teach you heavy weaponry. Wait,
I'll
heavy
just do a
machinery,
roll as
not
Vinny to
weaponry.
see if maybe Vinny fixes
Jesus.
it at
Cool
some point.
beans.
I'm mixing up Twilight and freaking this system, and the
Yeah, Vinny
skills are not
fixes
the
it.
same. Good job, Self. Very nice.
I'll mark that down on the APC.
I've got a question. Who currently has Comtech?
That'd be me
Okay.
if you want me to teach you.
I would actually, because so I think I've pushed the ranged combat thing as far as I can push it.
Yeah, it's at 5, so.
right? So I would like to go into maybe contact, because my wits is at 4 as well. So
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because
okay,
if you have
so
one, because we're usually teammates or like the partners, you can, we help
right,
each other.
exactly.
I love
Yes.
it. And next session you can teach me observation skills because I have zero, absolutely
Okay.
nothing in it.
Okay. So I'm taking one in contact. Emily. I always mix it. Evelyn is teaches Martin, and I reduce 1, 2, 3, 5 XP. There we go. Okay.
Very nice.
Awesome. So does
So
anybody?
observation is your generic perception, right? I take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So
I'm a
anybody
push
And I
X
only
kid.
very nice.
anybody spending any extra XP?
I already spent all I can.
I only
There's
have
nothing
2
that
left.
costs 2 XP, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
So, well, if that's the case, hopefully everybody had a fun session. It was
Yeah.
Oh
certainly
yeah.
interesting. Um,
Definitely.
That was
so yeah, killing that
we did
fucking.
what like everyone screams at the television or theater
Yeah, well,
screen.
I mean, yeah,
You know,
that's
like in a horror movie scenario, just burn it. And we're like, okay.
yeah, pretty much.
I think as far as narrative goes, we've learned that these aliens aren't anything to worry about, really. You know,
Yeah,
just
super easy to take care of.
they go down like
They're
nothing.
no, they're
How
very
the
squishy.
how the hell did they
Yeah,
kill like an entire prison complex of one of them? That doesn't make
Because
any
they
sense
didn't
at
have
all.
exactly.
guns.
They must have been over exaggerating.
I'm gonna prove that you don't need a gun by bludgeoning one to death with a shovel.
Yeah, honestly, that's why Wayland Yutani banned the book. They didn't want people panicking about a not super dangerous entity, really. Like it exists, but they don't want people panicking over something that's not super dangerous. So
Yeah,
they do have
they
our
got a
best
good
interest
point.
in mind. They have our best interest in mind. They truly do.
I
Uh-huh.
Just
personally
wait.
love corporations.
If
Just
I
wait
die, by
until
the
we're
way, I'm
up
coming back
against
in.
like three of them. And they all go before us, and you have to deal with that. Then I think that's the real problem.
If I ever die, I'm
I'll
coming back
beat
as a
all of them
Wayland
with the
Yutani.
shovel.
Exactly.
No, you
Also,
just get the heavy loader and reenact aliens.
you want to? Actually, speaking of which, did you guys buy the power loader?
Yeah,
Uh,
his name did. So he bought it personally, didn't he?
Yeah,
yes.
Notice how
I
quiet
haven't
it got
deducted
all of
that
a
yet,
sudden.
though.
Well, I was gonna. Well, yeah, because you could beat an alien to death with a power loader if you wanted to.
15 dice. 15 dice.
No, it'd be no. I just imagine it'd be like there's that one like Alf in Aliens moment where like Ripley grabs him with a power loader, spins the claw upside down, slams him against a crate, and throws him.
I gotta get my. I've got heavy machinery, but I don't have heavy machinery 2. I gotta get mine to 2, and then once you have yours to 2, if since we're both buddies, if either one of us goes down, one of us could get in the power loader and be like, "Get away from him, you bitch!"
And take down the fucking the kaiju.
Yeah.
And also one thing I'll add is you guys want to know the true extent of a situation based on the fact that you left Fury?
Yes.
Yes.
Nah.
Yeah, there were another two aliens there on the
Ah,
planet.
fun. We're like,
Actually,
Oh,
well, another two adult aliens there were more eggs.
Yeah,
oh,
not
Okay.
my
fun.
problem.
So, all joking aside, how did those eggs get there? Because
So the whole backstory, because I actually wrote this out. Um, so how the eggs got there, was so the core rulebook mentions that there were like in Alien 3, how I mentioned before, there was the superintendent who got captured, and then there were two other people. Egg morphing from the director's cut of Alien is a thing. Canonically, it's a
right.
thing.
Yes, it
So
is.
those three
Yes, it is.
people were turned into eggs. Another group of people stumbled upon the eggs, and
Wait.
they
Hold on. Hold on. When you say egg morphing, I thought you meant that an alien could turn into a queen and start laying eggs.
no, I'm
What
talking
you're saying is no,
people
no,
can be
no,
turned
no.
into eggs.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That is terrifying.
Isn't that how, or was there queen at one point in the original Alien on LB-426?
Well,
Wait, I
they
answered my own damn question because aliens prove that
well,
yes, there was a queen,
yeah.
unless the queen came about later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, basically, what they do, like like a species trait, is that in the situations where there is no queen, they egg-morph in the hopes that that eventually gives birth. Like one of the eggs contains a royal facehugger, which contains a queen. But
A
basically,
royal face hugger.
yeah, basically like a larger, tougher facehugger that carries a queen embryo.
I get that part. I'm the incredulousness in my voice is the terminology.
Yeah. Um, Her Majesty's Royal Facehugger. Anyway, but yeah,
Yeah,
so
no
So that's where the
shit.
eggs
so
came from.
those the original
They're
three
like worse
eggs,
versions of bees. Ugh.
the original eggs, uh, like there were these people that went to find the eggs, like, because I wrote out this whole backstory. They went to find the egg, like they went into the complex, they found the eggs, they got impregnated. Uh, those people had chest bursters pop out. Those grew into drones, and then later on, more people showed up, and they got egg morphed, and
Oh,
then fucking Mac's crew went there, and then they encountered those eggs.
oh,
So there were actually two
okay.
separate
Fun.
expeditions.
Yep, expeditions that we know nothing of because they've probably
Yeah, I
been
know it's all meta knowledge,
lost.
but I felt like it was worth an explanation, like why there were multiple aliens.
Well, I would say we made the right call.
Yeah, I won't say
Yeah.
just how many there are down there, but um, rest assured there were more aliens. I just didn't feel like sending all of them after you.
Oh my
I'm
god!
So
very happy you didn't, man. I
I just
appreciate it.
there was egg
so
morphins
that
in the
is
original.
how um the one got um on the ship.
Um, the one that got on the ship was basically when the facehugger, like, so kind of like in uh Aliens, when the facehugger like dies, like they can telepathically communicate. Um, so
Right.
basically, it was like crying out for help because it was surrounded and it was about to get lit up by a smart gun, and one of those aliens answered the call.
Okay.
And I mean, like I said, like
That's
realistically, more of
horrifying
them
to
would have
know.
showed up, but I just wanted to. Well, initially, I wanted to give you a demonstration of how dangerous one could be, but then Zavotska happened.
Oh,
I think that was a lucky roll.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was.
Yeah.
Definitely.
but by the way, I'd seen like a lot of the Alien films, but not everything. I'm a fan of Aliens, but I hadn't seen all the
Well,
films.
that makes two of
I
us.
was I was like, I'll watch Alien Resurrection. See what that film's all about.
It's
I can
bad.
say it is indeed
Eh,
a movie that exists. It was not good.
it's definitely not the
Yeah.
best.
But
It,
I like seeing Winona Ryder and stuff. I like
Eh.
Winona Ryder, so that was kind of cool. But
But
yeah,
yeah.
it was
Well, I
so
mean,
bad. It
Ron
was so
Perlman for me, but
campy.
yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's the story why there were multiple aliens, and that's why I was like, are you sure you guys don't want to go down there and be heroes and clear them all out because their odds are good this is going to happen again. Uh,
Um, and sorry about that, but
I, I'm
there are
fine.
moments that I'm taking an enormously mercenary. So, and where it comes from, and I will actually tell you where it comes from. So, in Jack Ryan in the second season, there's a bunch of South Africa mercenaries, and basically, they threaten Jack Ryan, and Jack goes, "I've got 2 bags of money here, and I would like to hire you guys to free this prison camp." And they go to the prison camp, and no shot is fired. They basically capture it and all that, and then the guy goes, "You hired us to free the prison camp. We freed it. We're done." So that's what you paid us for, and not one thing more. than that. So, and that's where that comes from.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I was just saying that, like, there was, like, I was trying to hint at it without just outright telling you, but basically because that's in the rearview mirror, I felt it was kind of interesting to let you guys in on that. So,
There's more shit.
yeah, there are more of them
Yeah.
I don't
down there.
think we were going back there anyway.
Yeah,
And good for them.
I'm just saying, don't be surprised if you get another call from Fury 161.
Yeah, exactly my point. And more money.
Yeah, and probably more
Spaceballs
aliens as
2,
well.
the search for more money.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, get more money, but don't be surprised if there are more aliens. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. I mean,
My
depending
point.
on what happens if we do get called back, I mean, it's just maybe then we can take the time to finally clear shit out, considering we'd be better equipped.
Yep.
Yeah, once we let the problem fester and get worse.
that's
Oh,
the way to look at
definitely.
it.
Or it's the final coup de grace of the campaign that we return, we all die, and we make new characters for season 2, and we come back and have to deal with the consequences of our actions.
Yeah.
But we'll be making
Not,
money.
not that that's not that I'm suggesting that because that's horrifying.
Yeah.
So,
What's up?
all joking aside, because I'm not sure.
What's up?
We did get it. Okay, cool. Never mind. I looked in the NPC list and I found the answer.
You
So
answered a question I ended up having that I just didn't know the answer to. Now, like, I realized the answer to why there were so many eggs on Sevastopol and facehuggers was because they were probably all like morphed.
Yeah, that's why they were capturing them.
Yeah.
Sevastopol.
Yeah, the
What?
station from Alien Isolation. Well, I mean that's kind of a spoiler, but
Oh. Speaking of which, that was pretty cool when you guys were watching me on VR and you're like, careful, there might be one to your right, to your left, and chuck, my head goes left, and you saw that. That was cool. That was cool.
yeah. Dude, I really got to get back to watching you play that because that was entertaining. And that was even before you encountered the first alien.
So terrifying
Oh,
that
gee.
game. And then
I
VR. I could not handle that game in VR. I can barely
I
handle it.
I don't think I finished it, but or I didn't even encounter one, but it was already creepy and scary
Yeah,
as
they do.
fuck.
Yeah, they do that very well. Like they
Mhm.
Yeah, it
really
was
set the
amazing.
Yeah,
stage.
I recently started playing it again because I didn't have time to sit down and play it properly for a time. And I just got past the point where they first introduced like the xenomorph and where you have to get on like the tram to go like elsewhere.
Oh boy.
It holy shit, that had me on edge. Like again, I think that's just me being kind of a wussy, a wuss about it. But I literally gotten on the tram, pressed the button, and I turn around and look, and the
Oh my god.
alien is literally running doors of the freaking tram. It scared the shit out of me, and I was like, "Yep, that's enough for tonight. I'm gonna go to bed." This is
I
oh,
Sweet dreams.
I
remember.
wasn't prepared for that.
Oh,
It, and you played it in 2D. You played it in
Oh,
2D.
well, I'm sure it's horrific in VR. I can't do VR personally because like it makes me motion sick,
Yeah.
but and
Actually, that
the
game
fact
is not too bad.
oh
And I
cool.
say that from a guy who gets motion sick with every FPS because every of those games, every single one of those games is moves differently, right? So your body has to get used to it. And with some you never
Okay,
do. But I did not get motion sick in that one.
one of my
nice.
Yeah.
favorite FPS games because it reminds me a lot of. So it has like that alien feeling, like aliens feeling with like colonial marines. Is GTFO, which is like a
Also,
first person.
as a side note, anybody who needs to get going, feel free to do
Yeah,
so. We're just kind of doing like I guess
yeah,
post
just
game
just
chatter.
chatting about it a
So
little.
Thought I was
But
being held at gunpoint.
yeah.